Hello, everybody. Oh, here we go. Okay. Hey, Michelle. Hello, MH plus, or is that kind of like B plus, but like M? I got like that. I dig it. I dig it. All right, guys. I wasn't even going to come on and do it this early because I did have something planned for tonight, and I still plan on coming in tonight, but I needed a little bit of time to put that together. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to have a chat here. Oh, hello, Rody Gal. Enjoy your meeting. It's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to be on here too long, I don't think. I just kind of wanted to pop on and say hello to everybody. And I don't think I was on yesterday. So, no, I wasn't. So, I figured I would come on here and chat for a little bit. And, all right. I hope everybody's having a good Monday. As good a Monday as people can. Hey, Crime Scene Cleaner. Hey, Missing in Life. Yeah, so I hope everybody's having a good day so far. Let's see. So I mean, I am just exhausted with a lot of stuff going on. I mean, it's and the truth is though is that it's my own fault for putting myself in it, right? So if I really didn't want to, there's an easy solution. However, I enjoy being part of this community and I enjoy hanging out with you guys. So, hey, Blues Girl. So here I am. And, this is kind of, at this point, kind of like my social life, I guess. So, I like a lot of you. I've gotten to know many of you, as well as somebody can get to know each other on the internet anyway. And I like a lot of people that I've spoken to very, very much. There's some really good people in this community. Hey, Dave. Oh, Puppos. Yes, mine are really getting fed up with me. They're mad at me because I haven't. It's been like, snowy and icy and raining for days. And, we call Molly, we call her Miss Prissy Paws because, if there's rain or if the grass or anything is wet, she will not go outside. And she's like 60 pounds. And I have, even with my back, have had to lift her up and put her outside. And I hate her for it sometimes. Hey, Navigator. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I want to do going forward with everything. Because I think, a lot of stuff has happened and I just wanted to be clear about a few things. Hi, Lindsay. You're here because you can be, as you should. I like that. So, I've been trying to think about, we all know that there was this whole thing. I think Country Joe did a live on it yesterday where, she's been getting a little bit of pushback because I actually didn't realize the full situation. I was kind of brought up to speed with it afterwards, but because basically because she extended, sympathy for Natasha, after she lost her aunt. And, I've also been receiving some pushback like that. Hey, Nat. And did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't miss anybody. Missing in Life, I totally understand and I get you. And I'm in a similar place. That's why I've kind of been figuring out how I'm going to proceed with everything because I've gotten some pushback. Like I've said to people, I've received emails that, tell me that, people can't support me because of that. And, at first I took it to heart and I was like, I don't like that. But then I was thinking about it and I'm like, you're trying to say that I'm not, standing my ground and I'm not, I'm flip-flopping. But you see, I feel like that's not the case. I feel like I'm standing my ground and holding true to my morals and values. Very, very much so. And that's what this is. Hey, where's Kenny? And that's what this is for me. It's just, I've said it from the get-go. Hey, Golden. I've said it from the get-go. I'm a very nice person. I have a temper. Hey, Amanda. Hi, Nikki. I agree with you. I don't think it is bad, Nikki. And that's what I'm addressing. And guys, just like just fair warning on everything. I know that people in my chat are usually really, really respected, actually, and I really appreciate that. Hey, Jax. Hey, Mr. Moo. And I would just appreciate that extending for now as well, because when I'm talking and I can't really keep an eye so much on the chat, but because of everything that's gone on, like I'm worried about that because I feel like if something's said in my chat, and God forbid somebody takes the screenshot of it and like runs with it, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, guys. So like I've been pretty open about the fact that you know, kind of I'll call it my side hustle for lack of a better word. I do social media management for people. So I currently do that for a few clients. And prior, I had an Instagram with almost 129,000 followers. So this isn't my first social media rodeo. And I feel like a lot of the time, and I had no idea what went on until I was there. So I basically, you know, I want to give like trade secrets. That's what I want to do tonight. I want to let people know exactly the kind of stuff that happens behind the scenes, why it happens. And I'm not going to be using names. I'm not talking about anybody in particular tonight. I just think subs deserve to know some of the stuff that goes on in general, and not even just on YouTube, and on all platforms. And we're going to be talking about things that haven't even happened, you know, in our community per se, but we're just going to talk about, because I feel like you guys deserve to know. You deserve to know why things turn out the way they do. You deserve to know why, you know, because a lot of the time, you know, when people, you know, do flip or whatever, you know, a lot of people are left in the middle like, wait, I thought that you agreed with me on such and such. But you know, for me, I see it as two very, very different things. So, you know, I'm a super nice person. I've been open about it. And I know that, you know, I've even said, you know, I know that being nice isn't going to get me, you know, nice gals finish last. It's not going to get me like an enormous channel overnight. But it's going to get me good people, and I'm true to myself. So that's all I can do. I'm not going to pretend to be anybody else, you know, just for, you know, clicks and views. I can't do that. So I feel like for me, it's not, you know, the minute somebody sees that I write or reach out and did a condolence video for Natasha, or have written a comment in one of her comment sections, the minute somebody sees that, they just I have gotten some emails where people are just freaking out about it. They're like, you know, you let us down. And guys, I'm just like, at first I did take it to heart, and I did think about it, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And, you know, well, I don't know about that. Like, and I'm not a nice person who will fall for anything. I certainly don't. I don't fall for anything at all. I don't know what you mean by that. But, you know, I just, you know, I was kind of took it to heart, and I was like, what is going on? You know, and exactly. No, Lindsay, like, you know, like I said, guys, I'm a nice person until I'm not. So I have a temper. I try not to come on here because if I come on here like that, I'm going to do right. You know, crime scene cleaner. I think that's a really good point that you're making. And actually, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. You're kind of like ahead of me here. But I appreciate that. So is it better to say something or not to say anything at all? Right. Hey, Nightmare. And I agree with that. You know, I think that's also a really interesting point to make. Like, you know, and I feel like a lot of people do weigh the benefits, right? So if you're a creator, right, and you know what your subs think. So obviously, like, if you want to continue to have like a successful channel, or you want to not make people mad and, like, you know, not like, you know, poke the bear per se, you know, people are gonna usually err on the side of giving people what they want. Well, I don't know. I don't mind being nice. I'm not going to apologize for being nice. I also am intelligent, witty, and tenacious as F. So, you know, I don't have an issue with being nice. I'm not going to apologize for being a nice person. You know, especially on here with people I don't know personally. I always just err on the side of caution. That's just me personally. I mean, you do you, everybody else can be who they are. That's fine. You know, I have no issue with that. You guys, if you have a channel of your own, you're welcome to run it however you want. This is who I am. This is what I do. And I'm not gonna, for me, guys, I don't judge anybody who isn't like I am, I guess. Like, how could I? We all have very different qualities and stuff. But for me, I am nice. I'm a kind person. I show compassion, and even in situations where I shouldn't. That's absolutely true. In my real life, especially, like, you know, I'll go hard for people that, you know, wouldn't do the same for me if it killed them. But I've really been working on that. But when it comes to on here, like, it's not even like really being nice, guys. It's like, it's stuff that's just silly. It's silly. And I was actually happy to see that there were other creators that, you know, reached out and offered condolences. But just because I do that, guys, it doesn't mean that, like, I automatically am supporting Natasha, or, I'm going to go have a membership to her, or even go to her chat or watch her videos or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It just happens that, she lost a family member, and I'm extending my condolences. And in the meantime, I've also started seeing other concerning behaviors. So, I've seen a lot of things, and let's see. Right. And yeah, but everybody can like do what's right for you. If you don't want to offer condolences, I get that. I get that. Some people here have been affected personally by things, or, have been very, very hurt by things. And I don't mean in any way to like discredit that. Now, come on. That's your opinion though. I don't say that's a fact. I wouldn't say that's a fact. That's an opinion, because how are you going to prove that? You don't know that. Let's not go there, please. That's not what this is about. In fact, I don't really want to talk. I'm not really talking about Natasha today, guys. I really just don't want to talk about her right now. But that's the thing. You say one thing like that, and people they're like, oh, I can't support you. Well, it has nothing to do with that, guys. Like, I just, I don't know, guys. I'm tired of it. And you can have intuition, but you can't say like a fact is intuition. Like, come on, man. And I don't go, I'm just saying, like, if it's an intuition, I don't know if that's really a fact, but I don't want to talk about like Natasha and that. All I'm trying to say is like, that's the situation at hand. So of course that's what I'm going to talk about, like, in reference to what's been going on. And like I said, I respect how anybody wants to do their channel. I know a lot of people have been hurt. I know a lot of people feel very strongly about this, and I don't want to discredit your feelings or your experience. That's not what I'm doing. For me right. And you could choose to not say anything at all. That's fine as well. Right. And that's, like I said, guys, it's all for you personally. Okay. And you're welcome to think that, but again, that's your opinion. And, whatever, like, my opinion on that doesn't matter right now. That's all I'm going to say. Like, that's not what I want to talk about. That's not why I'm here today. I was more here to talk about like just what's going on with the blowback that I'm getting. And I want to explain where I'm coming from with this, because, with me, hold on. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I just wanted to explain where I'm coming from, because I'm really tired of getting the emails telling me all sorts of things that couldn't be further from the truth. What I don't understand is why some people, and like, if somebody's hurt you really badly, I'm not discrediting that. And I'm really sorry for that. I'm sorry that, all of that happened. Right. Gladys, thank you. A lot of stuff is just black and white, right? So people are just kind of, oh yeah, where's Kenny? I heard about that, and I'm so sorry. I meant to extend my condolences to you as well. That's really, I know that's been really rough for you. But yeah, I live in the gray area as well. Like, I would like to focus, guys. Come on. Like, I don't do this to anybody else. So, well, I value people's opinions on things and stuff. For right now, I just kind of want to focus on what I'm talking about. But, I just thank you, and I appreciate that. I just have I do live in the gray area, and most of my life I lived in that black and white thinking. In fact, I really in the past couple of years have worked on not doing that. And, I don't like the all or nothing thing. Right. I agree with you, Missing in Life. I don't want to talk about that going forward. What I do want to talk about, okay, hold on. I like a lot of people too. Like, what I want to do going forward is, when push comes to shove, guys, this is my community too. I was in this community. I know you are a crime scene cleaner. I get what you're saying by that. You kind of have to make those decisions, either way. I get that. I had to, yeah, I get that. But, I just going forward, I don't just want to talk about Natasha, because I'm in this community too, and I see other things that I don't like. I see other behaviors that are, and I'm not gonna stop pointing out things that happen with her and that she does, while I am giving her a break at the moment. And if that's something that you guys can't do, then I don't know what to tell you. I apologize. I like to think that I'm a nice person, and I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but I can't make everybody happy. And I get it. It's just, I get where you're coming from. I get where a lot of people are coming from. I do. Like, I'm not asking anybody to feel the same way I do. I'm not asking anybody to act how I do. If you do, that's great, but I'm not going to judge you for doing something else. Like, that's not what we're here to talk about. I just that, going forward though, guys, like, why? I don't want to just be built on like one thing. I want to like expand to just like talking about other stuff too. And I don't mean bashing people. I don't mean dragging people. That's not really my style. That's not really what I do. I like to look at things kind of from like a psychological perspective and just use like, my observations and stuff. And that's what this platform's here for. Like, I have a channel, I have a voice, and this is what I'm allowed to talk about, that whatever I want to talk about. And I think a lot of the time things get lost on that because it's like, don't bite the hand that feeds you, right? So if people all really want to talk about one thing and you're like, if you're monetized or whatever, and you're getting super chats for all those things, why would you switch your topic, right? I get that. And that's, I can only speak for myself. I'm not in that situation. I'm not monetized. I don't get money for sitting up here and doing this at all. And I think maybe it would be a more difficult decision, maybe if I was, but I can see how that gets focused. Like if you have, like, especially when, your channel came about in this community at a time where, a lot of people were really feeling strongly about that. So that's like the one thing I've always said, that's one of the things that we all have in common, right? Is that we all like are part of this community and have like had experiences with similar people. Because if you're trying to talk about this with people in your real life, like, don't tell me that you don't get looked at like you're crazy. Because, I've tried to, and people are like, excuse me, what are you talking about? What about recliners? What is going on? Who, like stuff like that. And that's why, I think a lot of people want to come on here and want to talk about it and kind of process what's been going on. And I think that that's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But, I do think, though, that when you're doing something like that, the minute you try and do something else, all of a sudden, everybody like kind of gets mad about it. And if it's how you're making money, then that I can see how that might, sway somebody to dig their heels in deeper. But, I don't want to do that. I'm true to myself, guys. And I really, really like all of you guys that are coming to my chat. I've enjoyed talking to every single one of you guys. Usually my chat is really, really respectful. Even though, like, sometimes I'll see, thank you, Dark Magician. I've actually made it to 500 subs many times now, and then I, like, drop later, almost like it's like a game. But, thank you very much. I hope to stay at 500 or above at some point. But, like I said, I know that, me having the opinions I do, or any opinion at all, is not liked by many people. So I don't know, but here's the thing, guys. I am who I am, and I'm not gonna, hey, Chowder, I'm not gonna change who I am for anybody. I'm just not, guys. And I'm gonna do me. And if people wanna, be part of that and they want to come over here, like, we don't just talk about one person over here, like, at all. We've talked about, that's kind of where it started out a little bit, but we've talked about all sorts of different topics, right? And we've talked about all sorts of things. And that's what I'm here to do. What I want to talk to you guys about. Thank you, Candy Kisses Forever. I appreciate you guys all of you being here, because a lot of you have been here since the get-go. I hope that too, Golden, but you can't help but wonder, right? I don't know. Just because, I don't think that should be happening at all. I don't like that. I just feel like a lot of subs do feel like they're in the middle because there's so many people not getting along right now. And it's like, the more outspoken you are about it, the more there's like this friction, obviously, but a lot of it is just, I really had to decide if I was like, a part of me really did part of me was like, I do want to keep my mouth shut. But then, the other part of me is like, well, I'm on a platform. And if I have an opinion, I'm allowed to share my opinion just like everybody else is. And, I can handle backlash. I don't mind that. I know who I am and I know who I'm not. I know I'm a good person, and I'm not on here to like, I'm on here for my social time. I'm on here to, have a voice and speak about a variety of different things. But what I want to do, hi, Cece. What I want to do on here, guys, is I want to discuss behaviors in general. So I want to talk about, what I had it in my head a minute ago. I keep getting distracted. What I want to talk about is kind of getting a sense of what you guys think about different situations. Like, for example, like, what behaviors do you think are normal parts of just being in a drama community? Because let's be honest, guys, drama can be done right. Like, I enjoy drama. We all enjoy drama, or we wouldn't kind of be around here. And that's not a bad thing. That doesn't make you a bad person. That's not bad. That's why drama is so profitable. It's because there's a market for it. And but I think it can be done right without crossing lines where it starts getting dangerous or really hurtful. But I'm interested to know, like, what I want to talk about is, what do you guys think that line is? I want to get a sense of that. Like, what behaviors are a normal part of like a drama channel and a drama, community, and what's going too far? Because I just want to, that's the kind of conversations I want to have with you guys. Like, also, like, what is going real life to you? What does that mean? Because so there's been some, disagreements. I mean, I know what I consider going real life. And I kind of err on the side of caution with that, but I know there are people who disagree with some of that stuff. So, there's also been some friction there of some people saying something's going real life and then people disagree, but I'm curious as to what everybody thinks. Those are the kind of the kind of conversations I want to have. Right, Dark Magician. Right. And I think it's getting that way. I think that it is kind of getting old in a lot of ways, Right. I think gossip is bringing kids into, right. I think that bringing kids into anything is wrong on all counts. I agree with you on that. I don't agree with doing background checks on people. I don't, and yeah, no. I'm not into that. I'm glad missing in life. I appreciate that because, I mean, obviously those don't get the views and stuff that I get talking about other things, but at the same time, yeah, I will, where do you say, hear more about them in other places? Well, there are a lot of places. There's a lot of stuff on TikTok, missing in life. There's a lot of stuff on TikTok or Instagram. You can just put like exposing or put the hashtag in. It's called Breaking Code Silence, and you should be able to find a lot more stuff on that. And there's also a podcast that I'm, may or may not have been a part of called Trapped in Treatment. And you can find that on anywhere that you find, like, Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and apparently Audible as well. So, right. I mean, I know that all creators can't make everybody happy all the time. My goal, I like to make as many people happy as I can while staying true to myself. But those are like, I don't want to just talk about one person. I really want to talk about behaviors, and because I want to know what I can do. I know I'm just one person. I know that, I'm a small channel. I don't have, a whole lot of influence, but I want to know what I could do to make things a better place. Because there's nothing wrong with drama. There's nothing wrong with drama at all. There's a reason it exists. There's a reason that it, is popular. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just lately in particular, a lot of stuff has just been really out of control. And I don't know what, I don't have a solution. I have no solution to it. And I'm not sure like where it's going to stop. Everything just seems to be escalating. And, quite frankly, I feel like, it's getting to the point where there could be, I don't know when it's going to end is what I'm saying. And I can't be the only one who feels that way. I can't be the only one who, while they still maintain the feelings that they had about, certain people from the get-go, that they're not tired of it. There's only so many times that you can like talk about the same things over and over again, and I think that a lot of people are getting a little tired of it. It's just for whatever reason. Yeah. I'm not sure what's too much either, because like, at one thing I'll think, okay, well, that's definitely crossing the line, but then somebody will present it in a different way and explain to me, and then I'll like rethink it. So it's really, there is a very gray area. And I think with some things, black and white is necessary. Like when it comes to what's inappropriate and what's not, I think that black and white is a good way of looking at it. Right, Jen Lou, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong at all. You do. And that's what I understood coming on here, right? So I know that, me coming on here and speaking about anything is opening myself up to people coming back at me in whatever fashion that they feel is appropriate to come back at me with. I get that. And I did a lot of thinking about whether I wanted to open myself up to that or not. But, when it comes down to it, guys, like I said, I know who I am. I'm not like, insecure in my identity. So if I can, close my laptop at the end of the day and I know that I was, I'm comfortable with how I behaved, then, you know, I don't really take it to heart. I mean, I can't make everybody happy. I would like to, but I can't. And I agree, Christy Love. There is like a lot of stuff is false narrative, right? There's a lot of stuff. I know, Jen Lu, I get it. Hi, Melissa Jade. Yeah, and I agree. I don't like the right. I agree with you actually. And I see it a lot of places, honestly. There's a lot of misinformation being spread. There's a lot of there's a lot of that. There's a lot of things being taken out of context to get a certain reaction out of people and to create drama, in my opinion. And that's actually something we're talking about tonight, right? So I'm going to let people in on some trade secrets about what goes on social media platforms behind the scenes. Now, I'm not saying this stuff is going on here. I'm not saying that at all. This is just going to be in general. And some of it I haven't seen at all, but I just think that people are, entitled to know the kind of stuff that really does go on behind the scenes and why it is. Because I'm not going to just say, this is what happens. I'm going to explain to you exactly why it happens in a way that makes sense, because it really does all make sense. And a lot of it comes down to money. Hold on. Completely off topic. Yes, Jax, I heard that the other day. I mean, it was kind of weird that we were just talking about Brandon Lawson and then that happened. It happens to me a lot. So maybe I should talk about more missing people. Hold on. I just need to, thank you, Crime Scene Cleaner. I appreciate that, because I had, I really did have to think about it. I had to think, is this something I want to do? Do I want to speak out? Do I just want to give people what they want to hear? And I just decided, if I just stay a small channel and I never make it to 500 or over I never get my community tab, so be it. So be it. That's fine. If people want to, come over here and hang out, I would love that, but I can't force people to, and yes, people's parenting should be left out of everything. I think that that's also something that needs to, like, talking about anybody's children at all is just not appropriate, especially when like people's children, you don't even see it. Oh, I did hear that Don Wells went to jail today. Yes. I did see that. I need to catch up on that case. Yeah, and I'm just going to do me. Like, I'm part of this community, so I'm going to talk about what I see going on in this community, but I'm not going to be like a hate channel. I don't want to be a hate channel, guys, to anybody. I don't think that, I think drama channels are fine. I would be comfortable being a drama channel. However, I don't really think I am that much, maybe a little bit. But I wouldn't be upset about that. I just think that like any hate channels where it's just going after somebody or, people all day, every day. I mean, I don't know if those are necessarily people that, I'm going to lose any sleep over not being here, I guess. Like, I like the people that come in here. I like the conversations that we have. Yes, Golden. Exactly. I'm going to read your comment out loud, hopefully. I wish all subs would recognize that creators are often sharing subjective perspective and can often exaggerate or omit certain details because they're seeing things through an emotion lens. Yes. And especially with live streams, right? So emotional. Yeah, I get you. I got you. Especially with live streams, right? So let's say I'm live and somebody sends me a text of something, right? Or a screenshot. And I react about that without knowing the context or, anything about how it was handled or anything like that. And, I would react emotionally too. There's actually a reason I don't really look at my phone. Because I like to dig. I like to do my, because I am impulsive. Like, if there's somebody here that, would be vulnerable to taking something and running with it, it would be me, which is why I've been consciously trying not to do that. Let's see. Yeah, well, drama is right. Well, that's the problem, though. That's the problem, is that people love drama. So, anywhere you go, and it's in every community, guys. Like, that's the thing. Like, this isn't unique to this community. I just think this community has gotten out of hand lately. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Everybody's got a rivalry with somebody else, and some of it's more obvious than others. Like, I experienced it on Instagram. There were definitely like alliances being made, and then, to get at somebody, and then, when that's over, then those people turn on each other, and it's like this soap opera, and like it never ends. Right, Gladys. I agree, but the issue I have with that, Gladys, is that the same people who say that do that are people that say that they welcome opinions. Well, it's either you welcome opinions or you don't. I mean, there is some gray area there. I do agree with that. Like, there are some things that, like, if it's off topic and it's not what we're like talking about, then I get that. I get that having to be maybe not accepted at that time, or if it's done in a way that's really inappropriate. However, hold on a second. If somebody has an issue, they would go directly to that person. I agree, because we are all adults, and I know for a fact in my demographic, like, if I'm looking at my analytics, the vast majority of people that watch my channel are ages 45 to 54 and women. But that's my main demographic. So we are all adults. And the thing is that, there are some people that come into my chat and are really respectful here, but, maybe are not as respectful elsewhere. So I don't know. Like, I appreciate that people are able to do that. It gets tense in here sometimes too. It does. And I also, the accountability thing, Amber. Yes. Because that's the thing. If you do something, then own it. Like, if you come on here on a public platform and you do something, right? To say that it's not happening is just, there's a lot of lack of self-awareness. If that everybody's like pointing the finger at somebody else and saying it's their fault or they're doing it, but nobody is like owning it for themselves. And I don't want to do that. Like, I have owned certain things and I will own certain things. Yes. I agree. And that's really what I've had to say. Because, on the one hand, you're right, Candy Kisses. I've wanted to be like, I don't judge people for their past. Well, then I look at things and I'm like, well, why am I judging Natasha for her past if I don't want to judge people? And then I'm like in this catch-22. And I'm like, okay, well, if I do it for one person, I have to do it for everybody. And then, it's just like, it's a whole thing. So, it's so easy to not, to have those double standards, especially when, like I said, your channel was built on dislike of somebody or whatever. So if that's the case, that's what people want to see. And what sucks is that the minute you start to put out content that has anything to do with anything else, you're going to see your viewership go down 9 times out of 10. And I hate that. So here's my thing. If you guys see a creator, doing content that isn't drama or just dragging the same person, go support them, go in there, say hello, like that video, because that's the incentive for people to do not what they're doing now. And I know it's never going to happen. I know that's wishful thinking. However, right, we all have done things that we're not proud of. And, the beauty of it is that you can grow from things. And yeah, that missing in life, I get that. So that's the other thing. So, for me, and I wanted to build a channel. I've had this channel for a while. I had like, less than 5 subs when I first came on here. And I agree, Christy Love. Yes. The echo chamber. Yes. Mm-hmm. And when I came on here, I originally was going to wait until late spring, early summer. I'm going to be in a documentary that's going to be coming out about the troubled teen industry. And I wanted to tell my story before it was told for me, because, just for myself to kind of work through it, because it's something I haven't worked through yet. But then I kind of started, this was my like social place, right? And I started to not really feel particularly comfortable a lot of places. So I was like, you know what, I just kind of want to do my own thing and see if anybody like, comes over. And, I'm going to put out videos, but they're not going to be bashing. They're going to be pointing out different behaviors. I wanted to take a different view on it. And that's what I did. Now, I did put out some videos that were bullying and I took them down. And I got backlash for that too. Because people were like, oh, well, it's Natasha, so who cares? Well, I care. So there you go. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, the past continues to the present. Right. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, but how am I gonna, I've been really like, guys, you can't possibly, like, I'm not over there like saying, Natasha's now my best friend and has done nothing wrong and whatever. Like, no. Like, I still find what she does problematic. Okay, I do. But after all of this has gone down, with seeing people like not just myself, but others like Country Joe get backlash for being kind when somebody loses a family member has really like, it's pushed a button for me. That's made me, kind of really feel icky about a lot of stuff that goes on. And it doesn't mean that I'm changing my views. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be like, one of those people that like, I'm going to talk about everything though. And I want to talk about behaviors, not necessarily people, because I think we all are guilty of this stuff. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. That's what I try to do. I want to do something that's different. And, and I get it. Like, and I do get made fun of sometimes. I do because they're like, well, your channel is small and you've been on here a month and you can't even get to 500 and you don't have a community tab. And I've actually gotten emails saying this, because like you're boring. And I'm like, you know what? I know what I am and I know what I'm not, and I'm not boring. And I don't think I do my lives in a way that's not good. I just think maybe it's not what people are necessarily looking for, but that's fine, guys. I don't need everyone to like me. A lot of you guys are people that I've been interacting with, maybe not under this name, but another one, whether you figured it out that it's me or not, because I did change my screen name. I don't know why it was B+. I was looking at a grade I had gotten, and that's what I put. Now I'm stuck with it. But, but it's like, I've known a lot of people, so I like to chat with them. That's why I'm here. I mean, I would love to have an audience, and I would love to, none of us come on here because, or become creators because we don't want an audience. Like, a lot of us have stuff to say, and a lot of it starts with being a sub in a community and having a lot to say and not feeling like you have a voice that way. So you create, your channel to kind of express that voice. But what people need to understand is that when you do that, you're opening yourself up to, oh my God, I gotta plug my laptop in, but you're opening yourself up to having that same stuff thrown right back at you. And well, that can be done correctly. Like, and I hate saying correctly, but drama, there's a place for drama. But when it starts getting out of hand, or people like, it's even I get backlash, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like I deserve half of what I get, but if it is what it is, I guess. Hey, Violet. And that's the thing though. There's like all this like emphasis on numbers and money, and that's all very true, guys. It is. Like, I still am not going to get over the comment I got when I first came on here and first started doing lives. That was, you sit up on your lives for hours and hours and hours and talk, and no, you don't get, it's funny because you don't get any super chats. And I'm like, well, I'm not monetized, so that would be why I don't get super chats. But everybody seems to be like hyper focused on that stuff. But like, what they don't understand is like, that's not really what matters to me. I just like coming on here and talking to you guys. Now, would I monetize if I hit 1,000 someday? Yeah, I would. Of course I would. There's nothing wrong with monetizing. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You're coming on here and you're providing entertainment for people. So, I have no issue with that. That's not what I have an issue with. Like, and I don't know why that's thrown as like a jab. Like, sometimes people will come on here and they say they wouldn't be monetized, but who cares if they change their mind? I don't. Let's see, hold on. Oh, I was asking about chat. I'm sorry, Missing in Life. Did I miss something? I hope I didn't miss something. Yeah, if you're respectful, you get, really, I don't know if I agree with you on that, Dark Magician, but what I get is like the right people, right? I get really, really, wait, I'm confused. Did I miss something here? What did I miss? I'm confused. Oh, okay. That chat was a little out of control and rude. I don't know what chat you're talking about, but I've seen many chats that felt out of control and rude to me. I hope it's not mine, because that's the thing. Like, a lot of the time though, guys, like, things do get out of hand, and it is a lot of, I hate calling people like subs or anything like that either, because like, you guys are my friends as far as I'm concerned. But a lot of the time it's that, because sometimes people come in like all hot, right? So they come in and they're like, did you see what so-and-so said there? And then everybody jumps in on it and they're like, yeah, I saw that. And then like, that's where the chat's going. It's like a runaway train. And to be honest with you, fortunately, I mean, I have not had to deal with that yet. And I don't really want to. I don't know. I don't want, but that's not the environment that I want here. And a lot of the time it's really easy to get out of control. I mean, I've seen it time and time again. I just don't see why, like, I don't see it, why it matters where somebody is. And I'm really tired of that, guys. I'm really tired of that. I'm tired of feeling like, you can't go to a chat, or you can't comment somewhere, or you can't do any of those things without the risk. And we're going to be talking about that tonight too, guys. And I am really, not happy that we're going to have this talk, but we're going to have this talk about the, anything that you say can and might be used against you here. And it doesn't even matter who you are. You could be like, not even, you could be somebody who doesn't really voice their opinion ever. And then the one time that you do, you think I'm yapping, Dave? Really? That's not nice. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think you mean anything by that. You like me. You've been in here since day one. Yes, people don't like to be critiqued. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's how I want to do that, Dark Magician, because I'm not here to bash anybody. I like most people on here. I've talked to many people on here privately. Hi, #shy. I've talked to many people privately, and I think there's a lot of very lovely people here. It's just, you're right. No, I mean, does anyone really like being criticized? No, they don't. Myself included. However, I do appreciate it on here, and here's why. Oh, is it? Okay, Dave. That's okay. I knew you didn't mean anything by that. And here's why though, because I'm new at this. I'm new to YouTube. Like my platforms that I'm familiar with are Instagram and Facebook, not really this. So, if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm doing something that you don't really agree with, like, I am all for sending me an email and letting me know, because I do care. It doesn't mean I'm going to change my behavior. It doesn't mean that at all. Like, I might not agree with you, but if I'm doing something that's, could be done differently or better, like, and will I get like upset about it? Maybe at first. I can't promise you that I won't. I can't promise you that I won't, but I'll get over it, very easily. And I'm not going to, come on here and look at you differently or drag you for that. Right. Just plain mean criticisms. Absolutely, Amber. Absolutely. Constructive criticism is very, very different than just being like plain mean. And that's what I don't like. It's just like, there are people that, and it's not even just creators at this point, it's subs as well. And like, when does it end, guys? Like, what is the purpose of this? What is your end game? What is the end game to all of this? Because, we're going to talk about this tonight, but that's the thing. Like, eventually people are going to get tired of talking about one person. I know I'm rather tired of it. But that doesn't mean that, I've changed how I feel about it. No. It just means that, like, what else is there to say for right now? If something else that's big happens, then fine. Like, I'll talk about it. I have a few things I'm going to talk about when the time is right. For me personally, I don't want to, talk about her when, she's grieving. Like, come on, like, I'm not going to do that. If you want to do that, that's up to you, but I'm not. And that doesn't mean that I haven't seen things that I'm going to talk about or mention in the future. Cause I will, just not right now. But I also, yeah, right. As a creator, thank you. As a creator, I always forget that I can like do this. Okay, there we go. As a creator, you create the culture of your channel and chat, and people do forget it. They do. So if you come on here, and I've seen it for myself, when I first came on here, I was expecting the same environment that I was seeing elsewhere to kind of be here as well. And I was like so surprised when it wasn't. And I think that, like I've always said, with great influence comes great responsibility. And while not every, I'm not saying that it's a perfect storm. Like, everybody kind of plays a role in how everything gets the way it is. I'm not saying that, the creator is necessarily at fault, but you need to be aware of what goes on. And you need to know your audience. Like, I'm a full-time grad student. So right now I'm actually doing, I did a paper the other day on, how important it is to know your audience. So if you know that your audience, kind of gets wrapped up in stuff like that, then you need to be aware of that. And you need to have your mods be aware of that to kind of keep things in the right direction. because like, as a creator, when you see the chat start to get out of control like that, it's hard to not look at it, right? And I want to look at it because I don't want to ignore anybody. I try to acknowledge everybody that I see. And I just, but at the same time, it's very distracting. So you kind of get caught up in that. And then you kind of get caught up in giving the subs what they want to talk about, because ultimately, it's like, it's a cycle, guys. And I feel like I just feel like there's a lot of people that have gotten very caught up and are behaving in ways that are out of character. But maybe I've been fooled. Maybe they're just like this always. But I tend to like to think that I have a good grip on things, but I guess not. Maybe. Hold on. Yeah, the echo chamber's golden. I agree. I agree. Yes. Yes, I agree. And I think that that's like so unhealthy. Like, like I've said 1,000 times, right? So I've said this 1,000 times now. I'm not going to be mad if I see you in another chat. Not like openly and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's human to get annoyed by something. Like, will I be like, have feelings about it? Maybe I would. I can't say I wouldn't, but the only thing that would bother me is if you are actively dragging me, bullying me. And I mean, like, saying really hateful, mean things. If you're just saying, yes, I saw that on B Plus's channel the other day and I didn't like it, that's fine. You can say that. That's your opinion and you're allowed to have an opinion. I'm not going to take a screenshot of that and be like, look what they're saying about me. Like, I'm not going to do that, because, if you go to, somebody else's channel and say, yeah, the other night I saw this going on with B Plus and I think that it's, hypocritical and blah, 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 blah. Like, I get that. I'm not going to be mad at you about that. Oh, I'm only going to be like mad or like upset if I see you like dragging me in a way that's just mean, and not, constructive or, pointing out behaviors. It's just, just nonsense. And I don't like that anywhere. And I hate seeing it. And it's happening to just about everybody at this point. Hold on. Yeah. The creator setting the tone for the channel. I agree. And there is a lot of hypocrisy. I think there's been a lot of it, but it's gotten really bad. And I feel like, I get in trouble and I get told that I'm wrong and I'm bad and, I'm whatever because I don't want to do that, or that I'm different from, I don't know. It's like, ugh. Yeah. Hold on. Right, Jax. Thank you for saying that. Because, Jax, you are somebody who was hurt very, very deeply personally by, and you're able to say that. So why is it that people that weren't like affected by something personally not able to do it? Well, I have some theories as to why people are not able to do that. I get it. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, but I don't agree with it. I'm not going to do that. Because it's just not the atmosphere I want here. I want just a chill place. Like, people don't always want to get like, wrapped up in stuff. Sometimes people just want to come over here and chat with people that, are their friends. And I've actually seen that, over the weekend, there were definitely some chats or some creators that were doing lives. And I was in the chat, and really the conversations that were being had almost had nothing to do with what the creator was saying. It was more just people socializing with each other. And I get that. And you know what, MH, I don't know if maybe it was you that said it, but somebody else said this too. And I actually was like, you know what, they have a good point. So if like, I think somebody else said like, until people start getting along, I'm going to pull my memberships. And you know what? Like, if you want change, I guess that's a good way to do it. Hit it where it hurts with the wallet, because a lot of it has to do with money. Money stems a lot of really bad nonsense. And I think here is no different with that. Hold on. Yeah. And I don't want this to be a place where people don't feel safe, like, commenting in my chat, or don't feel safe, anything like that. Like, I don't think that's okay. Like, sometimes, I've gone into chats of creators that I don't even know who they are, because I see people I'm friendly with. And, Yeah, Navigator, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's also a good point. I don't want to go down this too much. I haven't either. But I don't watch everything. So I've seen more subs like that. But in terms of creators, I have not seen anything with my own two eyes yet. However, I've been told it's there, and if I see it, I see it. But I have seen, like I said, I have not. But I also don't watch a lot of people at this point in time, because I'm doing my own thing, and I'm not like on high alert to. I don't want to do that crap anymore. I'm all set. But no, I think you do have a point there, and I wrote that in my comment today that I have not seen anything. But see, other people have, and that's what I'm trying to have these conversations about, though, is that, like, what do we consider that? Because I think that's, everybody's from different, like, upbringings and different morals, and nobody's is necessarily right. None of it is necessarily right, but, like, we don't all agree on what's acceptable and what's not. And that's why I think that, there's always going to be, like, differences in opinion. So for me, mean is things that other people wouldn't consider mean. They would think that's normal behavior. I've seen that. I've had this conversation with some people. That's just my opinion, right? So for me, something that's, yeah, and somebody else might think the same way. They might think something I'm saying is mean, but, to me, I don't feel that it is. So, I just, that's what I'm saying. I just want to drop it. I'm tired of, like, the never ending circle of all of this. Like, I just kind of want to talk about what's going on in the community and not have to worry about, anything. I agree, Dark Magician. I agree. Right. Well, right. I don't think that. Okay, I see what you're saying there. And I agree. I'm actually going to be talking about that tonight. You make a good point. I'm going to be talking about exactly what that is. And that's your right, though, Navigator. You don't have to. Like I said, I know that there are a lot of people that have been hurt. A lot of people that, for whatever reason, that's something that's happened to them. For their own morals and values, they can't do it. And I don't like necessarily judge anybody for that. I don't. I'm just explaining what I'm doing for me personally. And I don't think I've seen you say anything that was, like, inappropriate. But like I said, I'm not everywhere, so I only see what I see. But I've never really, yeah, you're allowed to have your feelings on that. You're not alone. There's many people that feel that way. I just wish that, a lot more people were more respectful of where I'm coming from, because I'm not, like, flip-flopping. Like, I hate that. Like, what? Like, just because I'm doing something one way, like, no. And it does. Oh my God. I'm tired of the emails, guys. Like, I don't know how many times hi, Incognito Gypsy. And I don't know a lot of people either. So there are some people that have been online and they've been in this community a lot longer than I have. Like, I didn't really start going into the chats until probably a couple months ago. So, there's a lot of people with histories and stuff that I'm not aware of. And, I also don't think it's fair to be like, I'm not going to say who can and cannot be in my chat as long as they're respectful at this point in time. Because first of all, I need to see things with my own two eyes. If somebody tells me that something happened, I will want to go research that, because I'm not there. I don't feel comfortable taking a lot of people. There's some people that I trust with their word. And you don't have to, Navigator. You don't have to at all. Well, apparently it is. Apparently it means that I'm disregarding other people's what are the words? Disregarding other people's experiences. I'm letting people down, and what was the other thing? That I'm not true to myself or what I stand for. And I actually laughed out loud at that part, because I feel like I'm doing just that. I am being true to what I stand for and what I believe in. That's what I'm doing right now, right here. Is it helping and I also, though, and I'm going to say this out loud, maybe this person is watching, maybe not. I did comment on something that Natasha had posted, and I did preface it with saying that I had not seen what she was mentioning in that, but it was a point that kind of related. It was the first, I just wrote on it for that reason, because it was the one that came up in my community thing. But I did write that I didn't see the behavior she was talking about. But There was somebody who commented on it and said that, it's just more, at the end of the day, and maybe I misinterpreted it. I don't think they answered, but it was just more content for me. Like, and I almost felt like their comment was suggesting that I only did what I did for content, or for clicks and views. But I want to be very clear, guys, this has not helped me at all. If you think this has helped my channel, you couldn't be more wrong. I lost subs. I can pull up my analytics. You can see for yourselves. So I was kind of confused by that as well. Do I think that everybody in life does things for the right reasons? No, I don't. It's interesting that they mentioned that. But yeah, right. And I'm not going to do it. But see, here's the thing, guys. When you're monetized, right? And you if you don't have an audience, if you don't have a chat, if you don't have memberships, you're not getting paid. Like, AdSense doesn't pay a whole lot, from what I know anyway. I've never done YouTube before, so I'm not entirely sure how it works. So if people feel really strongly one way or another as a creator, you kind of have that pressure to kind of give people what they want, like supply and demand almost. I hate saying it like that. But from a business standpoint, because people, they'll leave. And if people don't like what you're saying, then, you're not getting as big of a paycheck. So that's where I think a lot of this goes wrong. I feel like there are a lot of people who might not feel a certain way, but, they feel really pressured to behave a different way because that's what makes the money. And I don't want to do that. Now, then again, I'm not monetized. So, I don't have those super chats coming in. I don't have AdSense or memberships. So, do I like to think that I would have made the same decision if I had? Yeah, I do think I would have. Yeah. That's just who I am. But I think it would have added another perspective, or I'm sorry, not perspective. Another, you guys know, another point to consider before I made a decision. Because, if that's how you're making your money, of course, you don't want to lose your income. But when it comes to something like that, I don't know. I think that's what a lot of things come down to be honest, guys, because, there are some really good people on here that I have seen behaving in ways that don't line up with who I thought they were, if that makes sense. So maybe, right. Yeah, I was raised that way too, Jax. I was just raised to be kind to people, because there's never a downside to being kind. I guess except if you're a creator, but, I'm not going to apologize for it. I agree. I think we should all extend a little more grace. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen if you just say that you're sorry for somebody's loss? Now, I understand there are people who have been affected by her very much in certain ways. And I get that. So, I understand why some people would feel as strongly as they do. And I'm not discrediting that. I'm not talking about certain people. I know. I'm talking about just like your everyday average person that has not had any experience being, with the, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Hey, Roddy Mama. Yes, well, it does. And, it's interesting that you point that out, because I agree with you. Yes, that's it. Right. When you're not as soon as you get monetized, you like they said, and I hate using these analogies, but I don't know how else to say it. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, right? If people really want to talk about a certain thing and they want to talk about Natasha Cooper, and of course you're going to continue doing that because you don't want to lose it. And, I can't say necessarily don't understand that. But right, I have seen it too. I've actually seen it as it happens. The minute someone got monetized, everything started to change slowly, but surely. I've seen it a bunch of times. I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it. It happened to me too, guys. When I started to blow up on Instagram, it happened to me. It's you want to give people what they want, whether it's wrong or not. And like I said, this is not my first rodeo. So I learned from what happened. It was my downfall ultimately, guys. So, I learned from that experience, and I'm taking a different approach here, because I like having conversations with you guys. So for me, as much as certain people like to poke fun at my sub count and the fact that I haven't been able to get a community tab and that whatever, like they can, I don't even care at this point. I just like to, I want to come on here and do me and, talk about this because, I'm part of this community too. And I can't talk to anybody like, in real life about it because they look at you like you're crazy. They're like, who are you talking about? What is the, because, you're using people's screen names. They're like, that doesn't even make sense. Hold on. Oh, I have like really bad dry mouth right now. Where am I? It happens when I'm like nervous about what I'm saying. And I am a little, it wasn't easy for me to, it's not easy for me to come on here and like, kind of speak my mind, especially when I get the backlash that I do, but I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm not going to stop that. Right. See, that's how I feel too, though. I agree with you on that. Hold on. I agree with you on that. So for me, but everybody has their own values and stuff. So I would never force my, what I feel or how I feel on anybody else. But for me personally, when it comes to things like this, like I'm not even going to take into consideration, what people have done in the past, maybe in similar situations to others, or if they would even do the same thing for me. It's just the right thing to do, in my opinion, for my own, my own sake too. And just being like, bring some positivity to something. I get that. I feel that way. I agree with you. But I know that some people don't. So, yeah, well, it does. It does. Yeah, it's interesting that you say that too, because I too made a similar observation. But yeah, people do like to do that. They always think that like all that matters is like your numbers and like, your views and stuff like that. And like, maybe that's all that some people care about. That's true. Do I care about it? Yeah. I mean, I like when my sub count goes up. That means that I'm doing something that people enjoy. And I never thought I would have any subscribers. So the fact that I have like 500, give or take, usually take these days, but it's amazing to me. I'm honored that even that many people, like I have almost 2,000 hours of watch time. Like what? I never thought that, and I've only been on here 6-7 weeks maybe. But that's the thing, like a lot of people just put their own values onto other people. And we aren't right. And that's what I encourage everybody to do. I encourage everybody to stay true to their values. So if you disagree with me and you feel, the opposite way, I encourage you to stick with that too. Like I don't think it's healthy to, bend and, change your opinions on things to please somebody else or to fit in. I don't think that's healthy. So if you feel differently, I am fine with that. Like hi, Liberty Farmer. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to have a different opinion than me. I just, what I admire and I respect is people that stay true to themselves. And I know it's hard. Especially when you put money involved. It's very hard. And like I said, I had an experience where that happened with Instagram. Because I had quite a large platform. I had almost 129,000 before I got taken down. By behind the scenes nonsense of people ganging up and like, making alliances with people that didn't like me, who they said that they hated before, but because those people didn't like me, that now they're going to gang up. And then they end up fighting with each other afterwards. It's ridiculous. It's so silly and petty. And I don't understand why adults do it, but they do. So, right. 5 months. Really? Yeah. And that's all I care about. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. Like if people want to be here, that's great. I really appreciate that, but I'm not forcing anybody to come watch my stuff. Like if you don't like it, you can click out of it. Like I'll do a screen share. We can practice together, and the same goes for anybody else's thing. Like, if you don't like what you're hearing, I don't really appreciate the going into somebody else's chat with just the intention of causing problems. Like why are you doing that? Let people speak. If you don't like it and you don't agree, or else I think there have been some situations that have been going on lately that may warrant the fact that person, maybe there's been some gray areas stuff going on lately in terms of what's being, I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. So I don't necessarily think that like, you should just let somebody drag you and do nothing about it. That I don't really agree with that. But it's all about how you handle it. It's all about how you handle it. And I think my way of handling it might be a little bit different than others. But at the same time, like you don't have to flood somebody's. If you don't like it, then don't watch. Is this, But here's the thing, like, you know how many people are subscribed to the very people that they don't like or care for? Like, that's just how it works. That's how it works on here, guys. And a lot of the time, like, I know that, I only have, a small amount in my chat, but I know that, I'm getting like upwards of 300, 400, 500 views. So I know people are watching, but what's really cool is that the people that are watching my videos, for the most part, like, it's mostly people that are subscribed. Now I do have, I think, 20 to 30% of people that aren't subscribed. So if you have not subscribed to me, I would love to have you here. I like to earn people's subscription. So, I work very hard, and I do like making videos, guys, even like the small videos. It takes forever. Like, I have like the biggest like increase of respect for people that, creators that do those like short documentary style stuff, because that must take, I can't even imagine how much time. So, and here's the funny thing about it is that it usually doesn't benefit you very well. Like, usually those don't get as much attention. For me, it seems to be the opposite. I seem to gain the most subs when I do videos, but I don't want to right now. Like, I'll make videos as I feel like it. I like hanging out with you guys. That's why I'm on here to begin with. Like, I just want to be a chill place where people can come and not feel like, they have to get all caught up in stuff that's going on or things that affect me. Like, I also, if I was to mention like names or whatever, right? So you don't have to dislike the same people as me either. Like, I don't care about anything like that. My problems shouldn't be your problems. They just shouldn't. And I feel the same way, vice versa. Like, I'll stand up for what I believe in, and I'll stand up for, ultimately being kind and, compassionate towards others, and not do it. This is a right way to do things, and there's a wrong way to do things, in my opinion, for me. And I don't need to, go low to get my point across. I can do that just fine, using, just being myself. And that's just how I want to do it. You don't have to, like, nobody has to do it like that. But that's the thing. Like, I don't like the fact that, like, it's because we have a lot of really empathetic people in this community. That's what it is. It's that a lot of people care very, very much about others here. I know it's kind of hard to see sometimes, but, and because they feel that about, whether it be a creator or a fellow sub or whatever, they get really invested emotionally in it. And I think it comes from a good place most of the time. I don't know about all the time, but I think there are obviously some really caring people in here. I mean, I can't deny that. There's no way around it. I have seen some true kindness and, support for others here. And there is a sense of, yeah, right. But the thing is that when it gets to a point where you like can't be part of anybody else's family, without, getting like snarky comments, or having how somebody treats you in the chat different, or being blocked, or, you know what I mean, guys? Like, it gets to, I'm an extreme. It gets to, you're right. It's impossible. Right. Right. It does. It feels that way for sure. And that's just, that just seems to be how it goes. It's like a lot of people, hi, X amount of words. A lot of people don't feel like they can say what they want, because automatically they'll get like I said, like they'll feel like, maybe they used to get acknowledged by a creator all the time. And because, and sometimes it's not even true. Sometimes I think it's just that somebody doesn't see them, but, I've seen it happen both ways. But, they used to get acknowledged, or, people, when they would come in the chat, used to say hello to them and, like, at them constantly. But, they made a comment on somebody else's chat. So now they went to another chat and they're not getting that anymore. So, that's kind of like a passive aggressive way of saying, like, and maybe it has nothing to do with each other. I mean, it could just be a coincidence, but I don't think it's always a coincidence, because I've seen it happen, and it's happened to me. And then you just don't feel welcome there anymore, all because you were somewhere else. And I think that's really, really, really unhealthy, guys. And it happens. I'm not even talking about one or two. I have seen it now on at least 4 other channels. And I don't know why or what that's about, but that's also not the creator either. That's like, when you're going in the chat, that's other people that don't want to at you or say hello to you because they're afraid. Like, do you guys not see this cycle? I can't be the only person who sees this. Like, I can't. Call me crazy. I mean, at first I was like, is this real? Is this real life? When I first got into, social media and started seeing all the ridiculous stuff that happens and how people treat each other, like grown adults, treat each other. And I was like, this can't be real. This can't be real life. It has to be in my head. This isn't, but it's very real. And I know that a couple people have felt that way. Now, I don't really want anybody to feel that way in my, yes. And that's what I think people are telling me though right now. And that's why I wanted to address it, is because, but I don't think it's for the right reasons, right? So like I said, I got emails saying that I was letting people down. And I do feel like that when somebody flips, and I've seen it happen a lot of times, people are really confused. And they have been, you're right. That's a very good point. Like word for word there. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, I'm not discrediting your experience. Like this doesn't, me extending condolences does not change anything. It changes nothing. The fact that I don't want to go low and I don't want to use insulting somebody's looks or things like that to go at them, doesn't mean I've changed my opinion on somebody. All it means is that I want to do things a little differently, and I'm not discrediting anybody's experience. I know how a lot of people feel. But I also don't want to talk about it day after day after day after day. Because what I see it as is that, if we need to use this chat for people to kind of process what happened and talk about it, because like I said, Lord knows you can't do it in your real life, because nobody knows what you're talking about. I'm okay with using that. I'm okay with using my chat for people to do that. But, there comes a point where, like, you say you're like making people aware. Well, we've been saying the same stuff for how long now? I mean, what else is there to say that hasn't been said 1,000 times? Like, I've been watching other people's lives sometimes, and I feel like it's just the same thing being said over and over and over and over again. And quite frankly, I'm bored. So that's just how I feel about it. And you're right, Melissa Jade, you're right. And, as a people pleaser, I try to make everybody happy. In fact, like, I'm going to be straight up, guys. So, I'm sure that there are times, like, the people, I'm sure there are times that my mods don't agree with me all the time with how I approach things or whatever. Like, I get that we're all allowed to have different opinions, but, when it comes down to it, like, I feel like I don't think it's about that. Like, what I'm trying to say is that, I hate the fact that everybody thinks that they have to have the same opinion. Like, I'm just using this hypothetically. I don't think that, if one of my mods feels differently about something, if it's like, something that is so fundamentally different that they don't think they can support me, then, I get that. And they, I would encourage them to tell me that. However, my people, and I would like to think others are really, really, like, they're mature, and they they can have a different view. And then the creator, it's like, if it's, I'm trying to like put this, I don't know where I'm trying to go with this. It's basically, though, we don't have to, as long as, like, people, represent my channel and what I'm about, like, at its core, they're welcome to have, that they do. I'm sure they do have different opinions than me. Let's see. Why can there tell me, and can you show me where you found that? Right. I get that. I get that. Well, the thing, though, is that a lot of stuff gets taken out of context these days, like very, very much so. So, like I said, I could simply be in somebody's chat and say, I saw that in so-and-so's chat the other day, and I also think it's, problematic. And that's taken as me dragging somebody, or that I don't like them, or I'm out to get them, or I'm against them and conspiring to take them down. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Like, those things don't even cross my mind, honestly. I'm not trying to take anybody down, certainly. But that's the thing. Like, even if you were to say that in one of your chats about me, you're like, well, I was in B+'s chat the other night, and, this happened, and, I didn't like that. You're allowed to say that. I'm not going to be mad about it. I mean, I might be a little mad about it at first, but I'll get over it. I'm not going to like, hold it over your head, and I'll get over it very quickly, believe me. But we're all humans. So when we see something like that, obviously sometimes we're like, what? But, I'm not going to treat you any differently, because you're allowed to have an opinion. And yes, the stuff that's being clipped and cropped out of context. Yes. I've seen a lot of that lately too. And actually, something that I wanted to do going forward, just because somebody actually did call me out on this, and I thought about it, and given certain situations, I feel like I'm going to do it. I feel like what I'm going to do is, if you're a clip channel, right? Well, I know this is never going to happen, but in an ideal world, put the videos that you're clipping from, right? Took a video that take that, and you need to let people know exactly what the video is, and put a timestamp so people can go look for themselves where it came from, because a lot of people will see a clip video and they will take that as absolute fact when it's taken completely out of context, and I've seen it. And I wanted, and that's the thing. Like I've always said that if people want to know what video I get some of my clips from, I am more than happy to share that with you. But I think going forward, I might actually do that. It might be a pain in the butt, but I will put every single video and every timestamp for each clip, so people can go and see for themselves. Because I think that that could clear up any of these issues. But people aren't going to do that. They're just going to clip something that's completely out of context. And the worst thing that happens is, like, something was clipped out of context. It gets brought to me, and I see that, and I only see it in that context, and I react, and then it becomes this whole thing that isn't even real. And I've seen it happen, and no one's going to tell me, because I witness a lot of this stuff, and it's happened a bunch of times, and we've seen it time and time again, and different creators, but different things. We all see that. Because sometimes things, if you're writing something, first of all, if you're writing something, text gets taken out of context all the time. First of all, there are times that I've said things on here in a different context that if they had been clipped would make me look really bad. But if you just listen to even 2 seconds before or after, you would see that it wasn't at all about that, or I was stating something about somebody else, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like it doesn't. It's not fair. It's not fair. And it's just because somebody doesn't like a person. And I also think it's problematic. So we're going to talk about problematic people. That's the title of my live, right? So we're gonna talk about that. So I think it's also problematic when subs, and I hate calling you guys subs, but I don't have I don't know what else to call anybody on here. So I'm a sub too, though, guys. I'm not just a creator. I too am a sub of many people. And oh my God, guys, it's so awful. And subs will be like, they either want validation from the creator, they want the attention, they want to show their loyalty. I have no idea why they do this, but it's the ones that take these screenshots and stuff and then go automatically to a creator, even if it's out of context, they don't bother to explain it, and then they just give it to them, wanting a reaction. And I really like the psychology behind that is very interesting. And I'm like, yeah. So I was just like, are you serious right now? Like, why do people do that? Why do you care where somebody is? And like, a lot of it is just people that, just want to be on YouTube and, go where they want and hear different and be an independent thinker. Exactly, Rody Gal. And it's like all of a sudden, like, you can't even trust that even a sub is going to take a screenshot, and God forbid your name happens to be in that screenshot that's taken, and then it gets posted for everybody to see. That's happened to me. And I've said that out loud, that I didn't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it, because then people see my name and they associate me with whatever the negative thing is. That's just how the human brain works a lot of the time. And a lot of it really doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't. And that's why I want to have that's what I want to have conversations about, though. I want to have a conversation. Always consider the source. Yeah. I do. I certainly do. But that's what I want to have conversations with you guys about, because I genuinely want to know what people think. I want to get to know what this gray area is, because obviously we don't all agree on what's appropriate and what's not. And that's where we're going to butt heads. I think it goes well beyond that. But I want to get to the bottom of this. Like, why do people do what they do? What is, I'm sorry, I just read Citing Trouble, and I was like, all I can think of is like stupid APA format, putting stuff, sorry, grad school joke. I hate APA, but that's okay. That's okay, guys. And there's nothing wrong with being into juicy gossip and true crime. Like, that's fine. Like, we're allowed to have gossip, guys. But it's gotten to the point where, like, it's like, you know, when I say cult like, I think a lot of people think what I'm saying about it is that, like, you know, it's people in like sweatpants waiting for like a UFO to come and like beam them up with, like, you know, in correlation with like a comet of some sort, you know what I mean? Or like people that go out and kill somebody or themselves or whatever. That's not what I mean by cult like. Like, that's not actually what cult like means. Actually, most cults, guys, have a lot to do with money or influence. And I see like a lot. I see a lot of stuff like that, and and I don't, you know, it's not that I don't think it should be taken as like, you know, this huge negative either. Like, you know, I don't mean it. I'm observing the behaviors that I'm seeing. You're right, and I'm not right, and my mods are not responsible for everything that I say either. And I'm not responsible for what they say when they're elsewhere. Like, you know, stuff like that. I've seen that happen with mods. That's why I'm making that point. It's not because I have an issue with either of mine. It's not that at all. It's that I saw it somewhere else recently. And right, it's very easy to get wrapped into. The citation machine. It's very easy to get wrapped into. I've gotten wrapped into it, guys. I have. Because you know, ultimately, like the human, like, we want to belong. We're very social creatures. As much as I disagree for myself, I don't like. Well, we are, like, when it comes down to it, we all want social interaction and to belong to something. It's just it's in our DNA to want that. And you know, when you have somebody up here, you have some sort of influence over people, because you're a public figure of some sorts. Even you know, if you're in the grand scheme of things only have a couple thousand subscribers or whatever, because, you know, in the grand scheme of things, that's not, you know, a whole lot, I guess. But even at like those small levels, you start to get that influence over people, and people like to kind of just go off on that, and just like it gets out of control. And I mean, if you're like, you know, looking from the outside looking in, I don't think it can be any more obvious. Like, that's why I kind of did take a step back to kind of figure out what was going on and see it for myself. And it's true. But, you know, when you're on one side and you're in the heat of things, you know, it's hard not to see things in black and white like that. And I'm tired of the us versus them. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it, because it's not us versus them, guys. It's not that at all. Like, why is it so wrong for me just have a channel where people come and hang out and everyone's respectful? Like, why am I supposed to, like, you know, have a secret? Am I supposed to like have a secret password that keeps out people that, you know, don't agree with me? Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. Like, you know, if you've seen somebody that's in my chat elsewhere, you know, I can't make everybody happy. Like, as long as people are being respectful, I have no problem with it. For them, you know, for the most part, you know, I might not always I don't like everybody. I certainly don't like everybody. Who does? But I don't know any of you, you know. I mean, I know I've talked to a lot of you privately, but a lot of you I don't know. So for me to say that, or say anything about it, it would just be wrong. Yeah, you never remembered the password. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you know, what's so wrong with having a channel where people can just hang out? Why does it always have to be like an extreme? Right, Dark Magician, and I've remembered that too. I was like, you know, and even the grand scheme of things, me with my 129,000, like, that's small comparatively to other people. Like, you know, that's not even that much. There are people with millions, hundreds of thousand. But but we're in our own little galaxy, our own little universe here. I think, actually not universe, galaxy would be the appropriate term, I think. Solar system. I guess we're in our own solar system. And right, and you're always able to block somebody if you don't like what they're saying. And you know, it is, and it gets out of control. A lot of people, it's very easy to get a taste of that, and it goes to your head. I'm telling you guys this from experience. I am telling you this. It does. It goes to your head. You get very accustomed to getting a certain amount of attention, and you know, gifts, I guess. I can say that for a fact. I received lots of gifts when I was doing what I was doing, when I started to have more followers, and you get very accustomed to that. And you know, without even, it gets out of control. I can't quite explain it. I can't quite put my finger on what it was, but it affected even me, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't really think it's a flaw in somebody's character necessarily, but what I do think is a not kind of problematic, very problematic is when you're not self-aware and you can't see it, because it's not going to end well for you with that. It's just not. It's just not. Because what happens when you're not relevant anymore? What happens? Like, you have to know your audience. Like, if you've built your audience on a certain thing, what happens when that topic moves on? That's why I said, guys, that the Cypress Hill song, Rock Superstar, I mean, that's literally what happens. And some people end up making it. Did I become less humble? Or you, I don't know. I hope you meant that in the way I think you are. Yes, I did. I certainly did. Like I said, this isn't my first social media rodeo, so I am trying to use this time around to do things a little bit differently, because I don't want to have that. I don't want that to happen. I manage channels as like my side hustle that are enormous, not on YouTube. I shouldn't say channel. I'm sorry, accounts. And I mean, I think it's a little easier for me to do it that way because it's not, people don't know it's me. And even with my brand that I built, people didn't know it was me either. It did. And it did. I definitely started to see myself as, more important than I probably was. I started thinking that, what I was doing, I was better than other people. And, seriously though, and it's stupid in the grand scheme of things because, it's, it just, I can see how it happens. And I'm not doing that again because it doesn't matter, guys. It's not real life. It's YouTube. Like, for the most part, like, a lot of us are just on here to hang out. And there's a reason drama channels are here. Like, drama has a place on YouTube. It's a thing. It's very popular. It's very lucrative. And ultimately a lot of it comes down to money. I wasn't making a ton of money doing what I was doing, but I paid my, for lack of a better word, my mods. And I was able to do that. I was able to hire people to help. I mean, it was decent, but as soon as that could all be taken away from you in like the drop of a dime. Oh my God, why is my ears ringing? It can be taken away. Mine was. I woke up one day and my account was down. That was it. At the end of story. All of that influence and the people that you think care about you and are your friends, they'll leave. They all did. I was like, oh, well, at least I still have these connections that I made. No, they'll go on to somebody else. It's really sad. We are jobs too. As somebody who's worked a lot of those jobs, exactly. And I woke up one day and one of the people that worked for me was like, do you see, like, did you change the password on your account? And I was like, no, it was down. Yep. It was down. And it was like, I didn't even get a warning for it. And it was on a technicality that wouldn't have happened if people didn't gang up behind the scenes and basically take me down. It happens, guys. It does. Because they didn't like that I didn't want them using my account to use as a dating tool. And I gave them 2 chances, but then they purposely went out and found people that didn't like me to then get more people that didn't like me to all masturbate. I've told my story on this, but hold on. You all but have 10 irons. I'm confused. I'm trying to read. Yeah, I wish we could all, right. I think that's great. And it does become like a contest. And I noticed that early on and it rubbed me the wrong way. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with supporting each other, right? Like, if here's the thing, guys, and I hate saying this too, and maybe I don't have it. Maybe I'm wrong about this, right? Maybe I'm wrong. So I don't want to come off as being like cocky about it. I happen to think I do, but maybe not. If let's say you share somebody, from on one side, I understand. So let's say you promote somebody, right? And you try to help them and they end up doing some really horrible things or end up using their channel to do something that you can't like get down with, like you can't, and it makes you look bad for supporting it. I get that stance on things. I do. But on the other hand, it's like, that's how most of us get here. Like, networking is key. Like, I have found that YouTube is hard. I happened to get on Instagram right when the algorithm was really favorable. And actually, I don't think I could do it again, even if I wanted to or tried. I don't think I could ever do that again. I think that was like a stroke of luck. I was in the right place at the right time. So Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I think that, we should be helping each other, but it does become kinda like, but if you come on here and you can't carry a live and people don't connect with you, I'm sorry, like, you're not gonna be successful on here, I guess. I guess, you either and I get that, you either have it or you don't, but I don't think that the reason that my channel is small has anything to do with how I am on here. It doesn't have to do with that I'm not engaging and that I'm not, smart and I can't engage with that. It has nothing to do with that. It's much more complicated. A lot of stuff has to do with timing too. I'm sorry that happened in USA. I get that too. It happens everywhere. Like you think you're out of high school, when you graduate, and nope, nope, nope. Yeah, networking is just slower, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I have had some creators that have been very, very good to me. For example, Dorothy and Country Joe have both, shared my link. And I really appreciated that because that actually gave me the boost up that I needed to, have any, because a lot of people didn't even know I had a channel until then. And I really appreciate that. I think that's great. And if I was, oh, see, I just mentioned you and there you are, Dorothy. I just, that's so weird. Okay, we're on like the same wavelength, I guess. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I appreciate everybody who has helped me, and I don't want to, I don't want to step on anybody. I don't want to do that. Like, what's the point? Like, what's the point? Why can't we all just have a channel, and just be able to do what we do? If people want to be there, then let them be there. If people don't want to be there, then I guess, that's their decision too. But I don't think that we need to. Yeah, a lot of people found me. Right. Thank you, T. Adams. I really appreciate that. I really try. Like, I care very, very much I care about people. Like, I genuinely do. And that's why I kind of wanted, but I just wanted to be part of this community and be able to interact, because I wasn't even going to do lives. I was like, oh, I couldn't do that. Like, I see other people up there and they talk for hours, and I'm like, oh no, people would be bored. Nobody would come. What am I going to do? But really, you guys, it's half you guys. I mean, honestly, because I kind of interact with the chat, and that's kind of what if I was to not have chat on, that would be a very different story. I'm not sure if I would I would have to write a script, because I don't think I could just talk and not have any interaction for that long. But right, I think that we all need to be supportive. We all need to be, you don't always have to agree with what people do either. Like, there are some times that there are, people that I support who do something I don't care for, but that doesn't mean I'm going to completely change my opinion of them automatically. Because that would just be silly, right? Like, we're all more complicated than that. Yeah. And I agree, Patty. I mentioned that earlier. It's like, I just feel like a lot of the time what that ends up in is people, no monologues, please. I know. I feel like, wasn't that what Critical K used to do? Like, at the beginning, before she would like interact with the chat, she would have like this monologue. I think it was her. I could be wrong. But yeah, like, I feel like I wish that people could be supportive. I know that that's wishful thinking though, because ultimately, like, in your head, especially if this is new to you, it becomes a competition. And then you do have people, and there are people in this world who have like their purpose here is, to cause trouble. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why. Hi, Jur. I don't know. Hi, that girl. I don't know if I said hi to you. I hope I did. Hi, Tokyo. If I miss somebody, I apologize. I try not to. But yeah, like, it's just, yeah, the CK monologue. Yeah. I just don't want to do that, guys. I don't. I just want to do my own thing. And I don't want to, there are people that just want to cause trouble. So what they're going to do is they are purposely going to run to somebody and tell them that someone is talking about them somewhere and doing this, that, or the other thing for the sole purpose of getting a reaction out of them. And there are going to be people that do that. So unfortunately, that leads to a lot of like paranoia and a lot of, thinking people are conspiring against you. And, and sometimes maybe they are, because it happened to me. But I just like, it gets crazy. And if you don't know what happened, like, you don't know until you do it, guys. I promise you that you don't. I had no idea. In fact, I mean, it becomes yes, when money becomes, yes, bingo. Especially then, people are always on their best behavior, until, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, if your channel, if your subs really dislike a certain person, right? Why are you going to switch your topic? Because that's what brings you in money. Like, you wouldn't do that. You'd lose income, and nobody wants to lose income, right? I mean, but for me, it's just, I don't want to play like that. I want to do things based on, I mean, I think would it add to the complexity of my decision? Yes, I probably would, but I still think I would have done the same thing. Yeah, I'll keep Chicory away from you, Kenny. He is kind of long haired. And I also wanted to say real quick, guys, I really appreciate all of you that have donated to Chicory's fund in one way or another. You guys have no idea how helpful that is. You have no clue, because it's hard to see someone, or an animal or a person. Hold on, wait, it's B plus my new. Oh, okay, I really appreciate it, guys. Like, you have no idea. It's everything helps, and it helps get me, be able to get him to be comfortable. I feel I don't know. I don't feel like I should have to clarify it, but I'm not sure if, I know that care credit is a thing. I'm not sure if I would qualify for it, is all I'm going to say about that. But I might try, and then just try to figure out how to pay for it afterwards, because I don't like seeing him in pain. It breaks my heart. So, but you guys, I expect nothing. I am just grateful that you guys are here. I'm grateful that you guys show up and support me and come to my chats and interact. I love that. Like, that's what matters to me. Yeah, well, YouTube, a lot, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't necessarily, I mean, of course I don't here. But like, if given the opportunity to make some money on YouTube, I probably would. Sure. Why not? But I don't know. I mean, I just feel like if you're going to be yourself, be who you are. And money shouldn't, I hate that money comes into it. That's why I'm saying, guys, like I said, you guys can make a difference in that. And I know that this is wishful thinking and will never happen, but if I can get one person to do it, that's great. If you see a creator that's usually doing like content about, one particular person, and it's because that's what's, been successful for them, or behaving in a certain way. If you see them doing another topic, if you see them, covering something else, or go in there, hit that thumbs up for them, go in their chat, maybe say hello, just be supportive of that. Because if nobody's supportive, the problem is that, if you don't get the views, people don't want to do it anymore. And, I actually kind of felt that way a little bit about my troubled teen thing. I'm like, okay, well, I can get like, I know people will poke fun at this, but I can get like, 50 likes on a video that I do about, the drama in the community, but 17 when I'm like telling my story of stuff. But you know what? I don't care. I'm still going to continue doing that, because if I can help one person with my story, and I'm going to do it, because I don't care. I don't care if I talk to myself. I'm perfectly capable of doing that. But I don't talk to myself. And I appreciate that so many people like my style. And I see a lot of you guys, in other chats too. And, like, it depends, like, if you, let's say, people can like a whole lot of different things. Let's say, you're having like a bad day, and the last thing you want, especially if you're a really empathetic person, and you're like, you feel very deeply for people, the last thing you want necessarily is to go into something that's going to bring you down. So I feel like there should be options available where maybe somebody's doing something a little more upbeat, or, you don't always want to get angry. At least that's not what I want. Right. There are ones that, right, Patty. Yes. Good point. I do the same. So if I don't like a topic that a creator is talking about, I just don't listen, or I don't chat, or whatever. Like, there's a way that I can do that without, I'm not going to cancel a whole creator based on, people are entitled to have a bad day, first of all. And I'm glad you're feeling better, Dorothy. I think I saw that they kind of adjusted so I think I saw you comment about something, and I hope you're feeling better. Because my sister literally lived on a nebulizer for like her entire childhood. I am very familiar with what that is. but yeah, like, I want people, you don't have to agree with everything a creator says. You're not going to. That's how, we're humans. We're not going to always. I mean, if they do something that's so fundamentally against your values, then yes. Oh yeah, happy guys, today is Dorothy's son's birthday, so happy birthday, Jerry. I hope he's enjoying his day. Yeah, that's always fun. That's always fun. I think he got the Chromebook that he wanted. That's a good starter thing for kids. Absolutely. And they're not too expensive, which is also really nice. I actually got one recently. And I'm glad I did. I didn't even know they existed, to be honest. But yeah, like, if somebody says something that's so fundamentally against what you believe in, then fine. Like, I get that. There are some things that if I heard come out of a creator's mouth, I would unsubscribe immediately. There are some things I feel very strongly about, that I can't support people who do certain things. I get that. But it's not going to ever be because they're talking about some, I don't know. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm about. But I just want everyone to get along. That's really all I want. I know it's never going to happen. And I don't plan to like not do drama. I'm going to do drama. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing drama, but I'm not going forward. I don't want to just focus on one particular person. I want to talk about behaviors. I want to talk about, what's acceptable and what's not from your guys' perspective. I want to talk about those things. Because there's a lot of confusion and a lot of people don't agree on things, and then like things get out of hand. So let's like find some common ground here. Thank you, Abby. I appreciate that. I appreciate the positive feedback you guys give me, because it helps reinforce that, my faith in what people can be interested in. I really appreciate that. It makes me very, very happy to know that there are people out there that do like my style. At least, they like, even if they like somebody else's too, that's fine too. But that they're willing to come over here and listen to me be nice. But like I said, I have a temper, but I try not to bring that onto here, because it's usually really petty stuff, and I don't want to come on here like ranting and raving about something that's really petty, or something that I heard and didn't see for myself, but I heard, and it made me really angry, because people that know me or have chatted with me outside of here know that I do that. I do that, and I have to get it out of my system. But I'm not going to come on here and speak about something saying it's fact if it's not, or if I don't know, because we've seen how that works, and it never works. It never works out well. There's a lot of misinformation, though. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of taking things out of context, and I want to know, guys. Hi, Natasha Victim. Sorry, I genuinely want to know, though. I want to know if it's because people think they're being helpful, because I suspect that. And then I also suspect that there are people that just want to cause chaos and kind of jump from community to community to community to community without loyalty to anybody in particular. Or I don't know. I feel like it both happens, I think. I don't know. I mean, a lot of, I don't know. That's why I'm interested in. That's what I want to talk about here. I want to talk about this community, because this is the community I'm a part of. But I don't want to just limit it to problematic behaviors of one person or any one person. I just want to talk about the behaviors. That's the stance I'm going to be coming at this with. Right. That's what I mean, Patty. Right. So some people are more, that's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of misunderstandings as to what people are accepting of, or what's too much for one person might not be for another. And I think that a lot of the time that there's some misunderstandings that happen from that. Yeah, there definitely are, Amber. There definitely are. They definitely are. And I'm taking note. Just because I'm genuinely curious. This seems to be like a weird social media phenomena that I am very interested in figuring out why this happens, because it happened to me on Instagram a little bit, not to the extent I see it all the time here, but it's like this cycle that happens. Like people come on here with good intentions, but for whatever reason, things just don't always go that way. And I don't want to be one of those people. But I think that's, if I had come on here if I hadn't done Instagram, I mean, I probably would do that too. Yeah, I adore creators from multiple communities as well, Megan. And I also adore subs from multiple communities. That's what I said. I know that there was one particular person who had a problem that I'm still friendly with people who support Natasha. Well, I was part of Natasha's community long before I was over here. Or, you know, just it kind of clicked with me that I didn't care for what I was seeing, and it did not mesh with my values, personally. So that's, but you know, just because I feel a certain way doesn't mean somebody else does. So I basically, you know, I'm still friendly with some people. I'm sorry. I'm actually, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to apologize for being friendly with who I'm friendly with. But you know, it's not a crime to support a creator. But some people got really uncomfortable and this isn't people that you guys would even know. Like these are people that, you know, you might see in their chat, but they're not disrespectful people. They're not dragging anybody. But they're not, I agree, MH. I get that. Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah. Have too many people up on panel. Right. That's actually why one of the reasons I don't go up on panels, and also why I don't have them on my own. Because I will interrupt everybody constantly. I am the queen of interrupting people, and I just don't think it would be, it wouldn't go well for me. Yeah, right. There are many creators that started on one community and moved on to another. Right. And I think that's perfectly fine. I think that people should, you know, use their platform to talk about whoever they want to talk about, right? You know, they should be able to talk about whatever. It's just a lot of the time people are discouraged from doing that because they see a really distinct and really massive drop in views or people in the chat. And that can be really discouraging as a creator because, you know, you're like, I don't know, it can be. I think everybody can agree on that. So they don't want to, a lot of people don't want to do that. But there are a lot of people that, you know, don't care. There are a lot of people that just continue to do them. And, you know, some of them end up being successful in the end and others, you know, don't quite blow up, but they're okay with that. And I mean, I'm okay with that. You know, like I said, my main goal was to get a community tab, because I'm just honored that I keep hitting 500 though. And then like within 20 minutes, I seem to lose like 6 subscribers, almost like someone's playing a game with me. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's maybe not. It's not a very fun game though, guys. So if you haven't subscribed, I would love to get a community tab so I can interact with you guys more and actually get a sense of what you guys are thinking or want to talk about or are interested in. Because I am not above giving the people what they want. Like, you know, if you're going to come to my channel, I want to talk about stuff that you guys want to talk about. I want to, you know, as long as it's within what I'm comfortable doing. I don't want to just come on here and talk about boring things. Like that's not fun. Then I won't have anybody to talk to. And I like talking to you guys, but that's what I want my community tab for. But you have to have 500 subs and you have to have them for over a week. So I keep hitting it and then leaving. And then, do I think that it is okay to sometimes go off the topics of what is said on the stream? Yeah, I do. You mean like if the creator's up there and talking about something completely different and you guys are having a different conversation? I think that's very okay. I see that a lot actually. Because a lot of us are friends, right? So a lot of us just come on here because we want to interact with somebody that we're friendly with. Sometimes I'm not even like really listening to what a creator's saying, and I've gotten burned for that, but you know, or I don't even know who the creator is. So I'll go in there, and I've also gotten, you know, I've regretted doing that a few times too, but you know, that's okay, because sometimes there are other people in there that don't like me, but I don't, you know, whatever. You either like me or you don't. I can't please everybody, but I agree. I think so. I think that, you know, if you're in there and you see somebody that you want to talk to, it doesn't always have to be about that creator or what they're talking about. And I agree. I appreciate that, guys. I really do appreciate the positive support, because it makes me want to continue to do things just like, and be myself and not feel any pressure to do anything other than that. Because I'm not going to do anything other than that. So, you know, I'm just not going to do it, guys. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. A lot of you have just been really great. And I like that we have people from all sorts of communities. And I like that for the most part, people get along. There are some tense moments. There are definitely some people that have come in at the same time that really don't like each other. But there's a block button for a reason. We can just block people. If somebody's saying really nasty things about you, you don't have to stand for it. You don't have to, be subjected to having to deal with that. You can block them. I do my best to kind of read while everything's going. But I don't see everything. I don't. And the bigger the chats are, the easier it is to miss saying hello to somebody. So I don't want anyone to feel like I don't like them if I don't say hello to them when they come in. I try to get everybody, but sometimes I don't, because I look somewhere else, or to make sure my dogs aren't doing something crazy. So, I'll turn and I miss it. And I don't want anyone to feel like I don't want them here, because hi, shy, sweet grandma. I don't think I've seen your name before. Welcome. I want everybody to feel welcome. I know that there are a lot more people that, of course, my dogs hear me talking, they're going to bark. But I know that there are a lot more people that listen that don't chat, right? So, I just want everybody to know, anybody's welcome. I appreciate anybody coming in here, and, if you have something to say, as long as it's respectful. We've had that happen. We definitely have had that happen. Yes, we are the New Englanders. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it being in the 50s pretty soon, so this stupid ice can melt. Yeah. That's why I said, I really appreciate, my mods handling a lot of that stuff too, because it takes a little bit off of my ADD. But like I said, everyone's human. Sometimes, especially if somebody's got several hundred in their chat, I've seen people get offended if somebody doesn't say hello to them. But let me tell you, if there's several hundred people in that chat, I don't think it's 9.5 times out of 10, it's not anything intentional. They genuinely don't see you. So, just give people the benefit of the doubt there. I would never want somebody to feel unwelcome or like they can't be here. In fact, that's one of the things I detest that I've seen elsewhere, because a lot of the times people, that's kind of how they feel like they need to be in one place. They're at a different chat and they come back to another one. And, they used to be somebody that, when they would say hello, they'd get all the ats, all sorts of people would say hello to them, and nobody does. And then they were like, well, is it because I was in this chat? And, I think it probably was. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but I don't think so sometimes. And then they're like, oh, well, I guess I can't go there because I lose my friends. And that's just silly, guys. Go where you want. I'd encourage people, if somebody's bashing a creator, don't watch necessarily if you're not comfortable with it. Nobody's forcing you to watch, but you could also do what I do. And if somebody's talking about something or in a way that you don't like, you can take a break for a little bit, right? Let's take a break and come back, and maybe they'll be talking about something else. I do that with things that no offense to the creators I watch, no offense, but if something doesn't catch my interest or is boring to me, I'll I'll hop off for a little bit and then I'll come back on, because usually those creators have grabbed me for a reason. And a lot of the time, because I'm talking here for 2 hours here, I'm not going to be interesting the entire 2 hours. It's hard. So I just, sometimes I'll pop in and go back, and sometimes there's no right way to do YouTube, guys. Ignoring people, right? Yep, there isn't. And that, I also think that's a little inconsiderate to the creator some of the time, because, especially I can only speak for myself, but for me, I don't know a lot of people's history. So if you have an issue with somebody personally, I would much, much, much prefer that you guys connect outside of here or block each other, because me feeling like I have to referee, or, because I'm on the spot, guys. I'm on the spot. So if there are two people that I really enjoy speaking to in here, you're putting me on the spot to make a decision about something, or to handle things one way or another. And in every single case, one person is going to feel like I didn't take their side. And I don't like being put in that position, just because I can't know everything, guys. I can't. I just can't. And I just can't do it. So I appreciate that people try to keep that out of here. But it happens sometimes. I just, for me, you are on the spot, I'm on the spot. So I have to quickly, my brain has to quickly think of how I can, what am I trying to say? How I can say what I want to say without getting without hurting too many feelings, but you know, I can't, one party is always going to feel like I took another one's side. And I hate that too. Cause, the couple times that it's happened, it's been somebody that I like who felt like I wasn't, siding with them. So, you know, I like to think that maybe, you know, people will, you know, not get over it, but I don't know, come back, because there are some people I like very much who have felt that way. Hold on. I am trying to read here. I think people like to see how things unfold in real time. Yes, they do. Myself included. I'm not above that. I'm very guilty of it. It's almost like a soap opera sometimes, but that's the conversation I want to have. Is I think there's an appropriate way to do drama and do that back and forth. And, you know, you take it to, you know, turn that up to a 10. You know, we can be petty. We can, you know, go back and forth at each other. You know, that there's a market for that. But it's when you take it to a place where it's, you know, taking it to an inappropriate and often dangerous place. That's where we're crossing the line here. That's where, thank you, Shy Sweet Grandma. I'm happy to have you here. I don't think I've seen your name in here. So I love seeing new names and new faces coming in the chat. That always makes me happy. At this point, I would rather have rain than snow. I didn't think I was going to think that, but now everything is iced over. Actually, that's funny. So I was going to say, guys, right. So if you guys, I know a lot of us have alts. So if you have an alt and they're not subscribed to me, you got to get on that. You got to convince them, convince all of the personalities, all of your different, you know, alts and stuff. Cause I even have one, but I named it B-bot. But it's because I locked myself out of this. I'm trying to be funny, guys. Because I am trying. Yeah. That's why I said that. That's why I said that, Michelle. So right, but I also don't have, I have an issue with that when it's somebody coming in because they want to be rude and stuff. But if somebody's trying to, like, you know, like for me personally, when I left one community, I kind of wanted a fresh start. So that's where B+ came from. But I've always acknowledged I'm not like secretive about what I've done, at all. So, but so I was going to say, like I said, my main goal right now, I just want a community tab, because that's what I want ultimately, guys, is a community, like my hive. That's what I want. That's my goal. That, you know, when I'm thinking to myself, what is my end game? My end game is to have a place where we can, like, you know, come on here and interact with each other, where we can, you know, because a lot of us are really isolated right now. We just are. A lot of us don't have the social lives we used to. I know a lot of us have, you know, maybe when you went to work was when your social time was, and a lot of us are working from home or have lost their jobs. You know, there's a lot of suffering going on right now. There's a lot. And I think now, if there ever was a time for people to kind of like come together and have a place on YouTube, if there ever was like a place for this kind of thing, it's now. That's how I ended up here. I never thought I'd be in a community on YouTube, but now I have people that I text with all the time, or, you know, message or whatever, who I consider friends. And, you know, that it's the weirdest thing, but I think that's how all of us are. I think a lot of us just want to come on here, and talk about things that are interesting. And let's be honest, a lot of us like drama. So and I think that's fine. But, that's what I want. I want a community. I want to create a hive. And I don't even want to be a queen bee. Like, I don't need to be a queen bee. I don't need to be any of those. Like, I don't want to be, that's too much responsibility. I don't want to be in charge of anybody. But as a creator, guys, it is, I think, irresponsible. Hold on, I might have to mute in a second. I feel like it is irresponsible to not acknowledge that you have that influence over people, because we do. And it starts at a very low sub count. Because, you know, when you come up here and you put yourself out there as, like, you know, for lack of a better word, like a public figure, you know, hold on one second, guys. I got to mute. Okay. Sorry, guys. I am back. But that's the thing. Yeah. I want, hold on. Yes. I make people laugh. Yes, I agree with that. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I want a community, but I think that a lot of the time people either don't know, or they lose sight of the fact that, you know, you have influence over other people being up here, and you kind of do have the power to set the tone, and direction of your chat. whether it be by, good communication with your mods as to, how to keep things in line. Or, it's just you and there's a lot of ways to do it, but I think a lot of the time it's really easy. I did have a 502 earlier. I'm sure I've dipped below that at this point. It feels, it's weird. I really don't know what's going on with that. It's almost like, somebody purposely goes and like, I'll subscribe to me. And then at the end of the day, like take that away. Because I don't know, maybe I'm paranoid, guys. Maybe I'm paranoid. But there are people on here that think like that. And I don't like it, guys. I don't like it. Just let people do what they do. Like, why do you have to cause trouble? Some of these people aren't even in our community, and they just want to come in here and cause problems for no reason except because they enjoy the chaos. And that's what they do. It's called a troll. And I don't understand it. I think it's more like younger, like my own generation, I guess. I don't really think it's necessarily older people. Maybe it is, but I see a lot more amongst the younger channels that I go to. I see that a lot more, and I don't really care for it. But yeah, it's right, and I'm okay with that. Slow growth is good growth, though, because I'm getting good people over here. I'm not getting people that just want to get caught up in a whirlwind of like hate and dragging people. I'm getting people that are really nice people. There are a lot of people that don't come in my chat, and like I said, like they'll message me. Yeah, right. 499. Exactly. So, yeah, I don't know how it's been like this for days. It's kind of strange, right? Kind of strange. I've hit 500 for, several days now, and then, almost immediately dipped like 6-7 people. It's really strange, guys. But I just, whatever. I let it go, because who cares? Who cares at the end of thing, I just somehow you don't think so, Renee? Yeah, I don't either, right? Right. I'm glad I'm not the only person who sees that, because it's such a large number all at once. So, I mean, it's almost like you're playing a game. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care, guys. That's fine. I'll get 500 in the end. I'll get more than 500 in the end, because I'm a good person, and we have a good chat, and we've got a lot of good things going. And I think that we're going in a positive direction. Well, I'm saying that I don't, like I said, though, I'm going to reiterate this again. I'm not saying that I'm like, kumbaya, like, we're not all going to be, like holding hands and singing, songs together. Like we're not going to be doing that. That's not what this is. Like, nothing has changed except for the fact that I now see things, elsewhere. And, oh, I will pray for him, Shy Sweet Grandma. I have kidney issues as well. So I mean, not to that, severity, but I get that. That's scary stuff. I will definitely keep him in my prayers. And that's what we're here for, Shy Sweet Grandma. That's the thing. That's what I want to be here for. Well, I can't, I always try to tell people this. Like, if you email me, I will try to acknowledge that I've gotten your email by writing, that I'll just write. Right, Abby, I had a feeling you were going to say that. I know, Abby. But just for this, I mean, I'm going to actually, yeah. I know why you would feel the way and I don't blame you. I'm sorry about that. I don't, like I said, I have issues with a lot of things, but that's why I want to be here, though. I want to be a community. So, like, if somebody, like I said, like, if I don't email, it's because I write novels. So I have to, like, actually sit down and commit to, like, writing you a response email. So sometimes that just leads to me not responding, but I'm getting better at that. Because it's how I talk. I just rant. But yeah, so I mean, don't be offended if I can't get back to you soon, but like, that's what I want this to be. I want this to be a community where people feel comfortable sharing how they're feeling, or, stuff that's going on in their life, where they know that there are people that can be respectful and kind to them, or give them a place where they feel like there are people that, care about them and are genuinely concerned. Because I think there's a lot of empathetic and really kind people in this community. In all of these communities, to be honest, there are some good people here, and that feel very deeply and really care about people. And I want to kind of gather that stuff, right? So I want to harness that and kind of make my, be a hive, like, because that's the best part of this. That's the best part of all this. That's what I'm here for. That's what like I love about this is the connection with people. It's not even necessarily like the drama. I mean, it's fun. It's like watching TV with friends, right? So, I mean, but when it gets to a point where it's done and it gets out of control, then, yeah, I kind of have a hard time with it. But of course, like, did I have the choice to just leave YouTube, like, or this completely? Yes, I did have that choice, but I don't want to. I like a lot of you too much to just stop. And people can play games with me all they want here. Go ahead, game on, game on. Because I see it and I just don't talk about it because I don't like to acknowledge the people that, try to, for whatever reason, do this to me. Because I don't know what I ever did to anybody else. I certainly haven't been anything but good to most people. The only person that, could come in here and say nasty things about me, and that I would understand kind of why, would probably be Natasha, because I have said some not so nice things about her. But like I said, if I do that, then I'm opening it up for and you know what? Like, just because you don't go low doesn't mean somebody else isn't going to. And I acknowledge that. I get that. But I get talked about places as well, mostly places that don't like what I have to say. But lately it's been, it's just been, there's a lot of stuff going on that there's more than meets the eye. And I am putting on my detective hat. I am going to be a bee. I'm actually going to make a little logo that's a bee, that's a detective, because I see you. I see what you're doing. Hi, Donnie. Hi, Angela. Thank you for stopping by to say so. I appreciate, I don't think I've seen, I might have seen your guys' name. I don't think I've seen you, Donnie. Maybe Angela, I'm not sure. But if you guys are new, welcome. I appreciate your taking the time to stop and chat. I always like to see new faces. But that's the thing. Like, I feel like there's more. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. It's my new thing. It's my new thing. Because I see it, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's problematic, and it doesn't have to be this way, guys. It really doesn't. It doesn't. And a lot of it isn't fair. A lot of it is not fair, and that's what I thought I was going to come on here tonight and do this. Like, what I'm doing is I'm putting together like a safety manual for all of you, like a sub and creator's guide to social media and the type of things that you are opening yourself up to. And as much as I hate having to talk about this in terms of people that are subs that are just simply supporting. Unfortunately, this is where we are. Yeah. Okay. All right. I thought so. Yeah. Like I said, I've made it to 500, probably about, maybe 6 or 7 times now. And then, I have like 6 or 7 people I lose subs within a 15-minute period. It's really strange. It's the strangest thing. But I appreciate that. I appreciate all of your support. Like I said, if you have alts and you want to hit that subscribe, I would appreciate that too. I hope to earn people's subscription, but that's the thing. Like, I want a community, and I can't really communicate with you guys all at once if I don't have a community tab, but you have to have over 500 for a week. Yes. Oh, it's a good thing, channels to watch. Okay. I appreciate that. Actually, never mind. No, there was somebody else that was saying something really nice about me. I had a name similar to yours, but I don't remember where. It wasn't anywhere that I'm familiar with, but yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I don't want to, I'm tired of the games, guys. I want people to know, and it's not going to be things that people like. It's okay, Abby. I understand. I heard the stuff that would have made you upset about that, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from, and I know exactly why that is. And yeah. So yeah. Hold on. But yeah, I don't really want. There's just it makes me upset that I even have to say it, but like, people need to understand the stuff that does get done, like, and they need to, and I'm not talking about just here on YouTube. I'm also talking about on like Instagram and other ones, because there are things that I have either seen, participated in, or just know happen, mostly from experience. But when it comes to YouTube, a lot of it is anecdotal, but a lot of it isn't. So that's what I want. I want to let people know that when you come on here, at this point, there are people that like to play games, and there are people that like to be sneaky spies, for no reason other than to cause more drama, for content. And I'm tired of it. And that's not going to happen here. That's for sure. And I, like I said, I've got my detective hat on, and I'm figuring this out. We're going to figure this out. So I have like this safety manual for how to keep yourself safe on here, as in, not giving out too much personal information, because the minute you do something, you don't know, it's ridiculous. You guys, I don't have to like reiterate, you guys see it for yourselves, the stuff that's going on here with people invading other people's personal business and lives, which is so silly and and the misinformation and the taking out of context and the exaggerations and the blah, 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 blah. So there's just a lot. There's a lot. Right. And right. Roddy Mama, I get you. And I appreciate that. I feel the same. Not about the person, but like in general, there are a lot of channels that I've, supported very heavily in the past, and have kind of taken a step back, just because it's not my style. But that doesn't mean that I dislike the person or I'm out to get them. But we're going to talk about that. I think I'm going to come on later tonight and do that. But of course, enjoy, Rody Gal. I'm sure I will talk to you later tonight. What do I usually discuss on my channel, Patty? That's a good question. I discuss a lot of different things. So a lot of the time, like I said, I am part of this community. So what it started out as first was, oh, did Nana Sue, is that, oh no. See, I don't like that either. Like, why are people doing that? Like, just stop. Just stop. It's old. It's old. I'm sorry, Abby. I'm confused. I'm confused. Did you make what? I'm really confused. Abby, you don't have a channel. I don't think you made a video, right? I hope not. Anyway, I like everybody here. Abby, I know what you're upset about, and I validate that. I do. I don't know what's going on in the chat, and I feel bad now because I can't keep up. But okay, I am confused, so I'm gonna let it go and not be confused. And yeah, so I'm tired of it. Like, it's same old stuff, guys. So what it started as is, I did start as calling out Natasha for behaviors more so. I didn't want to like drag her, but it was mostly short videos, and some of them were inappropriate, so I took them down. And some people didn't like that. They didn't like that I didn't want to, like criticize somebody's body when they're, I don't think that's right. So I took it down. So it went from there, and then it turned into, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try my luck at doing lives. So at first we were talking about Natasha. I don't think in a way that was that out of line. I mean, maybe to some people, and I'll acknowledge that, but a lot of it was just people that needed to talk about things that had happened over there. And, I'm going to be very clear, guys. A lot of it is not just Natasha, but like subs included sometimes. I think that it's like a perfect storm. I think that's with any creator. It's just, it kind of gets blamed on this, one, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Right. Okay. Just an observation. But then I kind of moved on to, what I wanted this channel for is I'm telling my story about what I experienced in the troubled teen industry. There's a lot of abuse that's going on. There's a lot of basically child abuse for profit. So I've been talking about a lot of that because it's my own personal story, and that's really what I wanted to do on YouTube in the first place. But I'm also part of this community, so we talk about what's going on. And in this, yeah, I didn't think you would, Abby. But what I want to do is I kind of want to take this in a direction where we can talk about what's going on in the community, but not do it in like a hateful way or, targeting one particular person. Because that's not my style. I mean, like I said, though, guys, like, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Like, that's a mistake. I'm nice until I'm not. And there is a point where I do have a temper. And if you push me too far, then you're gonna see that. But I would say 95% of the time, you're not going to see that side of me. You're not going to see that side of me. But there are people that like to play games on here. There are people that like to instigate and kind of, light fuses on things. And I'm sure that people, yeah, it happens to me already. So, but that's okay. That's okay, guys. But people, that's like the biggest mistake you could make is to mistake my kindness for weakness, because it's not. It doesn't mean I don't see what's going on either. It just means I choose to pick my battles and when to speak and when to keep my mouth shut. Because it doesn't matter. It's YouTube. Like, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, guys. So That's just kind of how I feel. So that's the direction I want to take this. I want to talk about problematic behaviors that go on in these communities, because I hate that. I don't know if this word would be appropriate, but it's almost fascinating, because like like it's this own like, what's the word? Crap. What it's its own like society almost, right? So it's like it's almost like The Sims. Like you're like living in this bubble. It's its own like microcosm of things, and it's really bizarre. But I felt, I'm part of it too. So I think it's kind of interesting, but I think it's really toxic a lot of the time. And I kind of want to figure that out for myself, and because I want to figure out what I can do to make it better, I guess, or to make this my channel something better that people can come to and kind of like decompress and unwind, rather than kind of get riled up. I don't know. I think there's a place for all sorts of channels. And I know that this is unpopular. I don't think that Natasha needs to leave YouTube. I don't want her off of YouTube. I know a lot of people feel differently, and I respect that, but that's not what I want. Personally, I just want behaviors to change. And I don't just mean creators anymore. Like at this point, there's everybody is part of this. Not all, you know what I mean? There's like people of all sorts of, mods or subscribers, or it's all contributing to each other, and it's quite frankly really disturbing. But 3.5 years, right. Little community, right. Right. So there's always going to be there's like drama in every single community. Like I've heard, like, the knitting community is actually quite brutal. Bye, where's Kenny? Go walk Max. I wish I could walk my dogs. It's too icy. I would probably fall. And I'm like paranoid about falling now, because I fell in like October. Like my leg just gave out. Because I have a spine injury, guys. For those who don't know. So, slowly but surely, I'm kind of like losing function of one of my legs. It's not something I'd like to talk about or let define me. Yes, Nana Sue, the knitting community I've heard has some drama that happens in it. Yeah, I've heard this from very reliable sources. But obviously there's going to be multiple knitting communities, but some of them, and I was kind of amused by that. But there's going to be drama wherever you go. Like, think about it. Like, there's drama in the workplace. Like, there's always drama. When you have a group of people that kind of form like a hierarchy of sorts, there's going to be drama. That's how we function as humans. That's human to do. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that it's unavoidable. But when it starts crossing over, but the thing about it is that what we forget. First of all, I don't like that creators forget the influence that they have, because it is a responsibility. Well, not that they stab each other with needles. Not quite. It's on the internet, but like virtually, like jabbing each other with like insults and stuff. Yeah, Angela, that's very fair. I agree. And why is my dog barking? Why is she doing this? She's so rude. I'm sorry, guys. Molly is very rude. But I've heard that you guys can't really hear her, so I'm just going to continue and not let her distract me, even though it's really distracting. But yeah, like I just when it gets to a point where we need to remember, guys, we need to remember, and this isn't a jab at anybody. This isn't. I understand. I struggle with my own stuff, so there are a lot of people that struggle with different things on here. Like there's people that have maybe like depression or whatever. Like there people that aren't necessarily functioning. Where mental health care is hard enough to find in the best of times, but nowadays it's like it's really hard. And there's some people that come on here that maybe are not taking their medication, or are undiagnosed and untreated, or what I mean, like with mental illness and stuff. And then I feel like that a lot of the time gets overlooked, and a lot of the time that can lead to some stuff that isn't where it gets crossed the line sometimes. And I'm not saying all the time. Like I myself struggle with things. So I am not saying that just because you have like depression, you're going to go. That's not what I mean. I think you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say though. There's no mental wellness test to come onto here. And while I truly believe that there are many that know exactly what they're doing, I think that a lot of it sometimes is, I don't want to say not intentional, but I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. I think that there's definitely, but that's where sometimes things become dangerous, right? So if you have somebody who's really having a hard time, and they happen to, get triggered in a certain way, I've seen it on here, guys. I've seen it. So yeah, Nana Sue, that's a good thing to have for your channel. Like there's a lot of positivity too, guys. It's not like it's not even it. Yeah. I just, like I said, I don't want to make it sound like, any jab at anybody that struggles with mental illness. Like I am the last person that should be saying anything about that. So I get it. Like I have struggled with my own stuff for my entire life. And I just think that a lot of the time, you don't know who you're talking. You don't know their life outside of you don't know. So I always try to be kind to somebody because, you never know that's, somebody is dealing with, good night, Lori. You don't know if somebody's like, dealing with something or has dealt with something in their life right now, or is like on the, you know what I mean? You don't know. We don't know each other. And a lot of us, we always put our best selves forward on here. So just because somebody isn't open about, what they're dealing with doesn't mean that, maybe like they lost their dad the day before, or, just because they don't come on here and tell you. I just always try and keep that in the back of my mind. So, I don't want to be cruel to anybody because you never know where somebody's at mentally. And I would be really, really heartbroken if something I said contributed. And I think as creators, keeping your chat on track and not becoming these hateful places is important for me. I don't want that here. So that's just, how I'm going to run things. And then everybody else is welcome to run things the way they do. Yeah, right. People want to come on YouTube as a distraction. Like, who wants, some people do. I mean, and like I said, I don't think drama is a bad thing. I think drama can be done right. I think drama can be very entertaining. I like it. Hi, Liberty Farmer. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I was like, I don't know where Liberty went, but there you are. I have these psychic powers, guys. See, I think it and there they are. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. There's something for everybody here. Absolutely. And if you really, I mean, and I'll give it to you. If what you're looking for is like a hateful environment, then there's certainly a lot of places for you to go here too. There is a place for you as well. YouTube is a vast universe. We are simply a solar system. And I encourage people to go where they feel is right for them. And that might even be more than one place. Yeah, Patty. Yeah, exactly. Those are like the main points I'm trying to get across here is that exactly. I don't want anybody to feel like they're not welcome here for things that don't matter in the grand scheme of things, And that's right, grand scheme of things. Rody guy, you're gonna get a kick out of that grand scheme of things. Yes, she knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, like I want everybody to feel welcome. Maybe sometimes you're in the mood for something a little more low key, and that's kind of what I have. Or maybe you want to, go somewhere where the drama is really hot. I mean, who doesn't? And then that's okay for you to be there too. I'm not going to judge anybody for that. What's not okay? I mean, there are some things that are fundamentally not okay for me. I agree, Namasu. Yes. For me personally, but everybody, has different values a lot of the time. Right. It's hard. That's actually #Shy, a really good point. That's also, I was going to go on and do that live tonight. I've been on here a lot longer than I always say this. I end up staying on here forever. I should just be on here all day long. Should do like a fundraiser for like a marathon fundraiser for Chicky. That's Chicory. Maybe I'll play guitar for you guys or something. I'm kidding. I don't know if I could do that. I'd have the worst headache if I did this all day. But you don't know what somebody's dealing with. A lot of the time people, and the sad thing is is that it's necessary right now. And I want people to know that, because a lot of people will say that it doesn't happen or that they won't let it happen, but it is happening. And I don't think that it's healthy to ignore that. I think that we need to come out and say that is happening very often. And people can preach all they want that it's not, but I see it. So, as much as I want people to feel like they can be open, I also urge people to be very careful about what they say. And I hate saying that, because you have it's really petty stuff too. Like, they see that you mentioned this somewhere, but then, you make them mad because you're like in a chat that happens to be talking about somebody that they support. I know it sounds ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. It's nonsense. But they'll use that, and I hate it, guys. I hate it. And I'm not gonna pretend it's not happening, guys, because it is. Let's have some self-awareness, fellow creators. Own it. And don't say that like you're just going to point the finger and say it's everybody else when, you are doing it just like the rest of them. And we're not going to play those games here. We're just not going to do it. I'm tired of it. As somebody who's a subscriber to a lot of these channels, I'm tired of it. I can imagine a lot of you are too. Or at least you don't want to deal with that all the time. Like every time you go on YouTube, it shouldn't be like a billion different lives about the same stupid topic. Yeah, see, this is what I get frustrated. But I think we're all pretty much like-minded here. But even if we're not, we're respectful, and that's what works. Oh, are you talking about like, oh, mouth pain is the worst, Angela. Like I have chronic pain. Like I have I know it's going to sound ridiculous, and here I am giving out health issues, and if people want to hold it against me, here you go, because I don't care. But I was in an accident. I have a really bad spine injury, and I have something called arachnoiditis, which is not have anything to do with spiders, guys. It's you can Google it if you want, but it's a really really bad pain and spine condition, and it can progress. It doesn't always, but the end game of it is losing your ability to walk. So I hope that doesn't happen in my lifetime. But the reality is, and the fact that I can walk at all, I'm just very grateful. So I can't complain. But I do. I live with chronic pain, but I've had to deal with mouth pain too. And mouth pain, for some reason, it's like on the same level. It's like maddening because it's constant. And I like to eat, so maybe that's it. But I've been open about my struggles, and that's the other thing. If people can relate to that, I know there are a lot of people here in chronic pain. I've seen a lot of people mention it. And I just want people to know they're not alone. Like somebody, and somebody can look really normal on the outside, like I do. Like if you saw me in real life, I mean, some people, but I can walk, right? So I can do a lot of, I am still able to do things, which is wonderful because there was a time where I wasn't able to do any, I couldn't even take care of myself for a while after my injury. But that's the thing. Yeah, we don't know who people are dealing with. And, right, Nana Sue, I agree. Yeah, see, look how many people have dealt with similar things in here. I'm just looking at the chat, and, a lot of people deal with chronic pain. There's also a really large group of people that have dealt with substance abuse or in recovery or, things like that. There's there's a lot of people that have like certain like illnesses that are chronic and constant. Yeah, and yeah, trust me. For me, I don't remember not being in pain at this point. So, as sad as that is, but for me, it's like, I always have to tell myself, there are people that have been rude about it in my life. And I just tell myself like, you either live or you don't. Right. So I chose that I want to live. So but the reality is that I have to be in chronic pain to do so. But is it not fair based on everything? It's very not fair. It's infuriating, it's frustrating, but it is what it is. So I make the best of it. But see, like there's so many like people that have been through similar experiences on here. There's a lot of hurt, a lot of loss, a lot of pain. And I think that's a theme I've seen among subs a lot here. And I feel like that's what community should be for people to be able to. And that includes losing a loved one, like Natasha or not. Like, a loss is a loss. A lot of us have experienced loss. So, regardless of what somebody's done or if they would do the same for you, just as a human being, for me, that's part of it. And she, also like it or not, like she is part of this solar system. Like, we're all a little microcosm and she's a part of it. So of course I'm going to extend my condolences. Yeah, the back surgery and mobility is, yeah, I have some surgery that I need to do, but it's I've kind of, well, obviously with the pandemic, a lot of that has been pushed back. I was going to get the nerve blocker thing, oh God, I can't remember what it's called. There were two companies that wanted, because I'm like a good candidate for their experimentation. I wasn't really interested because I've heard horror stories about it. So I don't really want that. Yeah, nope. I also don't have like the support right now to, not be able to take care of myself or those around me. I don't have that. So I wouldn't be able to be out for the count for now. Yeah, there's a lot of, yeah, it's okay though. That's what we're here for. Like a lot of people have a lot of hurt and a lot of stuff. I see, like even in the chat I'm looking at it, there's a lot of people with back problems. Yeah, is that the same thing? That's Lyrica, right, Angela? I don't take Lyrica. I take something similar. But and it's been helpful. And do I hate the medication that I have to take? Yeah, I absolutely hate it. I hate it very much. Um, it's not an epidural though. No, I actually can't have those, Gladys, because that's part of the reason I have arachnoiditis is because of the injections. It's not just the surgery. It was the injections. It's a long story. I don't necessarily want to, tell it right. It's very complicated, but no, it's like a device that you do a trial for at first, but it's a device that that gets installed. It's electronic. It's almost like a internal like TENS machine almost, but it's supposed to block the nerve pain. But I've heard so things about it. And yeah, gabapentin. Yeah. And I hate it. I hate having to take that. It's really an awful, it makes me very foggy sometimes, but it helps. It's helpful. So here we are. So, and even that could get clipped and they'd be like, oh, because gabapentin actually also, I believe, is also sometimes used as a psych med. So, here, go run with that, guys. No, I don't take it for that. But even if I did, that would be very rude to do. Yeah, it's an internal, like, yep, it is. And you have to go through, like a trial phase and then like where they kind of half install it and then you have to have it fully in, no. I can't even think about that though, because I have another herniated disc I need removed. I need a fusion. I had one of the worst herniated discs that the hospital here has ever seen. I wish I was joking on that. I mean, I don't know since then, but as of 2017, it was one of the worst that they've ever seen. And not to mention the other spine damage that I had. That just happened to be one of them. Gotcha. Okay, Liberty Farmer. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought that was Lyrica. I have not taken Lyrica. That was gonna be like the other option, but I'm sure my insurance doesn't cover it either. So, oh well, it's really expensive to live these days, huh, guys? It's actually expensive to any of it is expensive. Everything is expensive. Yeah. So yeah, the point is though, is that there's a lot of people here that have similar struggles and connect on that level. And I like that. That's what I've always liked about these chats. I've always liked that. But I also saw I saw things turning into things that they weren't to begin with. And it got really frustrating and really there were people trying to have like a genuine connection and conversation, and it all got kind of, swallowed into this giant whirlwind of just toxicness. It's expensive. Yes. You don't want to know. You don't want to know how much it costs me to get even with insurance, some of these medications. It's ridiculous. Why are we doing this, guys? Yeah, Angela, I feel that. I fortunately, when I got hurt, I used to be really into fitness, like really into fitness. So I had just lost a bunch of weight, like to the point where it probably was relatively unhealthy, to put muscle on afterwards, because I wanted to cut my body fat. And I ended up getting hurt right before I did that. So I was like a size 4. I'm probably a size 9 or 10 now. But I needed to gain the weight. So for me, it hasn't been too bad. But I've gained 20 or 30 pounds since I got hurt in 2017. So, you can see my picture right here. That was probably a year ago. And I've been the same for a year or so, but you can imagine how I probably needed to gain the weight. So I'm not really mad about it per se. I just don't like the fogginess. I mean, if it was to continue, I would be mad, but I try my best to be active. I try my best to do everything that I can, but yeah, right. I think insurance should actually cover a lot of stuff like that, Liberty. I mean, I don't know if I ever found anything particularly helpful. I tried acupuncture, but I didn't. It wasn't for me. But I know a lot of people that swear by it. A lot of people have really great results from it. For me, like a lot of people like massage and things like that. But for me, Angela, you and I are like-minded people right now. You and I are on the same wavelength, my friend. Same wavelength. Welcome to my life. And it's frustrating to not be able to do things that you used to be able to do. And you feel useless. You feel like you're less than because, you can't contribute the way you used to. And I felt that way for a very long time. I was broken when this happened to me. I thought my entire life was over. Like my identity was always my work. But, that's what I'm doing. I'm going back to school. I'm getting my master's degree in digital marketing. So I can have a future doing that. And I'm trying. It's just it's taxing in the meantime, because you don't you yeah. Yeah, because I can't make the money I used to make. I can't like you know what I mean? I know what you guys know what I mean. And it's frustrating because that's all I want to do. I would give anything to be able to do that, but I'm finding my place. I'm finding something that I can do that isn't going to drive me into the ground or into like a pain crisis, or I'm not breaking my back for a company that doesn't care about me. Never again. Not going to do it. So, right, I am here and I'm alive and I'm here, and I want to be like supportive of other people that might, because I can't even tell you how low I was when that happened to me. It was a really dark place for me. I was, yeah. So I know that I can't be alone with that. But yeah, I know like massage. For me, massage isn't gonna work because I feels like my body's on fire half the time. So most of my right side, if you even touch my back, or like even sometimes clothes touching my back, it feels like it's burning. Like I feel like I'm on fire. That's the only thing. Like basically from like my lower back and it goes down my leg. It's like somebody stuck like a hot iron in a fireplace and then dragged it down over and over and over again. So yeah, hot showers are nice. I like that. I like that very much. That's that like heat is the one thing that really helps. And but I can't spend my life on a heating pad or in the shower as much as I would like to. Especially when it's cold, and getting out of the shower is like the worst thing in the world, because it's just that moment is just so ugh. But I am probably gonna get off of here soon. I might come on later. I might change that to tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. It depends on how I feel. I might have just talked myself out for the day. But I appreciate all of you who came on here to join me. I appreciate everybody who's listening. I appreciate all of you so, so, so much. Yeah, Angela, yeah, not that. No. That's a complicated question. But yes, for in a lot of situations it is helpful. But it's definitely yeah. I don't know. That's I can't take that. But I wish I could. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody who has come on here. And I also, Angela, just to second that though, I feel like there's a lot of people that, could really benefit from that who can't get it too. So I think it's I just think the whole situation is I think the world today is a little backwards. I feel like a lot of us have lost our way. No, Angela, don't apologize. I agree. No, I agree. It is. My dad, when he has had his like shoulder surgeries and stuff, he's found that very helpful. Actually, when my dog had his surgery, he had that. I think that's the one that my dog had. I always thought it was like a human prescription. I didn't realize. In fact, I didn't even know it was like a person medicine for a while. I thought it was like for dogs. My dad was like, no, I took that when I had my hip replacement. Yeah, Liberty Farmer, for so many reasons, and a lot of it valid. Some of it, that's a hot topic. And I think there are people that feel strongly both ways. I'm not really sure. Like I'm a gray area person. I see like both sides. But yeah, though I appreciate all of you for coming on here. There's a lot of, yeah, right. I want to be able to everybody use their experience to come together. Like, that might not be everybody's cup of tea. Like some people want to come here for other stuff, but we're going to do a bunch of stuff. We can do drama. We're going to do drama because that's what I like to talk about. But we can do it in a way that isn't hurtful or that kind of thing. But I also believe in honesty. So, it's not always going to be taken the right way, but I'm going to be honest about how I feel about people and about how, things that are going on. And, people don't always have to agree with me, but I have the right to an opinion, as to each and every one of you. And nobody should be saying that your opinion doesn't matter, or that's a big red flag. Anybody who says your opinion doesn't matter, that's red flag, automatic red flag. Usually that means that your opinion matters very much to them and they're deflecting, but just saying. It's usually the prickliest people that are the most insecure. In my opinion, in my experience, allegedly, in my opinion. But there's other things I want to talk about, but I just kind of wanted to preface where I'm going with this channel with this. So I hope everybody sticks around, I really would appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed or hit that thumbs up, I would appreciate you doing that too. That's a really easy way to support me and to kind of, be part of the hive here. I welcome everybody. I mean, you don't have to. You can be part of the hive and not subscribe either. I really don't care. I'd like it if you subscribed, but I actually wouldn't know. I didn't know you could see who subscribes to you until very recently, but I don't think it shows you everybody. I don't know. I didn't even know you could do that. So I have no idea who subscribes and who doesn't really. But I appreciate all your support more than you guys know. Thank you to my mods for helping out today. I appreciate that very, very much, as always, because you guys are wonderful. And I hope all of you have a good night. I might come on later, I might not, but stay safe on those YouTube streets. I'm putting together a safety manual for everybody because I think everybody needs to know. We're going to have a talk. We're going to have that talk. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And have a great night, guys. You guys are all awesome. And I can't thank you guys enough. Oh, you know what? Damn it. I had an idea from somebody else's chat the other day, and I figured out how I can share things with you guys, like pictures. So I put together a bunch of my favorite memes of all time to share with you guys. And now I've lost my I want to do meme Mondays of my favorite ones ever. Maybe I'll come back later and do that. But yes, see, I'm evolving. I'm evolving and growing as a creator, and I'm learning how to do these things, and things are going to get good here. I promise you that. They are. And I hope people stick around to give it a chance. All right. Good night, guys. You guys are all awesome.